Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hey, hey,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How y'all doing?
It's fine. And this is my favorite time of year because, unlike other teams, Raider fans are sitting up there making up their Santa list.
Oh man,
Let's
Raider
see.
fans had their golf dates for in January planned already. I mean,
Mhm.
Raider fans had their golf dates planned in probably October, maybe. Yeah,
I think that's a good time. You
yeah,
you if you know anything about football, you knew the way it was going, the direction it was going, and then after the firing of Chip Kelly, well, you knew that was a give up move. You know.
yeah. And actually, we I don't know if we've actually spoken about that.
Hmm.
As I feel a little good inside. I'm watching BSPN on the other screen, and yeah, Max Crosby on now, which is
Uh huh.
probably one of the only well, okay, Max and Bowers and Genty when he has good games.
When they
They're
give him the ball more than 10 times a game.
Yeah, and when they have people block for them, I mean, it's I'm watching this, and it's stuff that makes you feel good about. Well, maybe if things go good on our Christmas wish list or Hanukkah wish list, God forbid, I don't want to exclude people, for Hanukkah and Festivus and Kwanzaa and I
Mhm.
know that Eid is around this time too, so I know that there's holidays and everybody is has of their own faith, but this is the time of year around the world per se that most
Mhm.
people get together for all of the things. I even think the Buddhists and like the Vietnamese like have like Tet around the end of December, early January about this time. It's all of these holidays. People are like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, hey, there's not just Christmas, so make sure you remember that when you plan your festivities.
I know it. And let's kick this right off because Santa is going to have to bring out his double notepad for all the Raider what the Raiders wish for. But
Uh
I'm
huh.
going to start right away with mine, and then I want you to tell everybody what yours is. Starting with two free agent guards. Maybe we put JPJ back at center, and we won't have to fill that.
No,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay. But then I would like a wide receiver with hands and brains. And then I would also like a stud DT to help Max Crosby out. Tell Max
Yeah.
we're putting him on, we're putting his wishes, what he needs on our Santa list. So tell me, Captain, what are your wish? Five positions.
Five positions. Well, and by the way, folks, when you wish this can be either free agency or the draft. Now, free
Mhm.
agency fills voids immediately. And when we talk offensive line, I'm thinking that is the priority in for free agency is you get a guard
That's one.
or but let me quantify that. You either get a guard or the best center available
Mhm.
because you got to fill the void somewhere. Either and I'm actually of a mind to after what I've seen and what people are talking about of Cody Lindebaugh, he's up in your neck of the woods. He's with the Ravens, and
Mhm.
there are and I was listening to like the Charger fans on the show from last night. They're like, no, 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 he's ours. So
Okay.
they know about him too because the Chargers need to fix things on their offensive line. If you think that you could have like
What's
John
new? What's
Alexander,
new about that?
well,
Their offensive line been on the IR list
right, but see
for the last 10 years.
they did fix it though. They drafted Slater, they drafted Alt, they got Mekhi Becton, who was that big bruiser, and they threw him in at
I
guard.
knew he was going to get hurt because he's a Charger offensive lineman. It happens every year. I'm gonna tell you, the franchise is snake bit. There's
Yeah,
things they shoot themselves in the foot when they have good seasons and they're just snake bit. No matter how much they try to improve themselves, they always have key injuries.
Well,
Always.
that's why we need to make sure that we tell Lindabaum agent, say, you don't want to go to LA. You want to be healthy and come to Vegas. Because
Nobody
if
wants
you
to
go,
come to Vegas. That's going to be
well,
our next discussion.
well, Peggy, here's the thing. Yes, they will. You know, what was it like? They're saying you got to give them incentive, and the incentive is overpayment. You're going to
And
be giving them overpayment because we had the best offensive line was about a decade ago. Has it been that long?
2016,
But we
and they
paid.
were
We,
overpaid.
but we paid for them. We
Yes, we
got
did.
Rodney Hudson
And
to
all
come over.
those guys.
We
Yeah.
got Osemele to come in here. We got Penn to come in here. Okay. So you got to overpay because the organization, until things change, that's also the other quantifier. Until things change, you got to give up extra coin to get bodies of good value in the building. That's why I said you get the center, and then and I'm not sure
Okay,
even on.
so you don't feel two of your five. What's your third
Well,
position that you wish for?
that's the thing. That's only one
Okay,
because
that's
I think we got, if you put JP, keep JPJ, and I like what I see with right now with Rodgers when he has a coach that can coach him correctly.
well, we don't know that, but we're on to your wish list, Captain. We want to know what you want for
Okay,
Santa. Santa got
well,
places to go tonight.
well, I will say this. I will say this. My wish list is 1, 2, 3 guard, center, tackle.
Okay.
3.
All right.
Now, your wide receiver, I'm going to hold off on because
So
there's an incomplete grade. There's an incomplete grade on the wide receiver core this year because
what wide
we,
receiver core?
well, see, we disagree on that. I think that we haven't seen what we now. Wait a second. We haven't seen what we can see with Jack Besh. For sure, has shown a lot when he's been given. Did you see that wonderful catch he made last week?
I'm interested in people who draw double coverage and go deep. They've got to stretch the field.
Okay, well, we got a guy who can stretch the field in Tucker. We need to put him on about 4-inch platform
Tucker's
with.
a bum. They're all bums. And that is why I have no clue. Maybe they have the wrong quarterback. Maybe
Oh
they
well,
have the
we
wrong
know
offense. Maybe
we
the
know we got the wrong
play
quarterback.
design sucks. All
Yeah,
I know is, what is your fourth wish? I got a guard, a center, and a tackle. What's your
yeah,
fourth?
I do.
You want
I'm
you wish
more.
for a wide receiver? None of those middle length like Besh, running those little 10-yard routes. Don't we need somebody to stretch the field and
Not
cause fear?
necessarily. If you're gonna go my fourth, I agree with you at DT.
Okay, so
Then I'm going to start throwing my 4 and 5. My 4 and 5 is going to be on the defense because
okay, go ahead.
I don't think that
So
we need
you're not gonna. You don't think we don't need another receiver. We just need to teach
right
the
now.
ones we got how to play.
Yeah, right now. And by the way, quarterback is not on this list because
Smart
that's a,
people already know that because you can't have a house
right,
unless you build a foundation.
right,
Anybody who's asking for a quarterback doesn't know football, doesn't know what you're talking about. I'm not listening to you. Keep going,
right.
Cap. Number 4.
Like I said, quarterback might be there, might be the number one. And again, we say might because we don't know
Why?
if. Well, let me tell you why. Okay, first off, I definitely want a defensive tackle,
Okay.
and I want another cornerback.
Oh, and you do want a CB. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I want a cornerback.
You're right. So that's your 5.
That's my 5. That's my 5.
Guard, center, tackle. That's a good list, Captain. And now the second part of this question is, which have to come from free agency and which can either come from free agency or draft. Which of
Oh
those?
well, I would say the guard and the tackle comes from free agency.
Okay.
I say the guard and the tackle from I'm sorry, apologies. The center and the tackle from free agency.
Okay. So you don't mind a rookie guard.
No, but see, they're not rookies. I like you said. I think. I
No, no.
think. No, no, no. Let me hear it. You asked for it. I said. I think that depending upon where these guys stack, we might be moving DJ Glaze to one of the guards, and he's not a rookie. Now he'll be in his third year next year. If you have Glaze on one side and you got JPJ on the other side against Lindebaum or a very, very good center, and I don't want to hear crap about Kappa. Okay, I'm talking about a quality center. Then you're not getting a rookie. And by the way, I still say that I want to see Grant, but I also got that tackle that is
Rogers.
the free. No, 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 no. Wait a
Oh,
second.
you
I
said
want to see
free
a
agent. Yeah.
tackle in free agency, right? So I
Mhm.
got a stud tackle. I know that I have
Okay.
in my back pocket a Grant that can be seen and thrown in and be kind of like that swing guy,
Mhm.
right? And then you can grow. And then does Rogers evolve to be better? To be, that's so. I mean, I talk about we got to have depth. That's why I said you got to have center and tackle in free agency, and then you get another guard and another tackle via the draft. If you are hitting on these picks, you might have a stud 1A on all of these positions that
But a
you'd have.
rookie.
What?
But a rookie. If you're talking about the draft, you're
Yeah,
talking about a
yeah.
rookie.
But the thing is, it's like
I need starters on the O line.
I,
I
I
need
got you,
instant
Peggy. Pe-
starters.
Peggy. That's why I said you got to tackle the free agency. You got old man Miller at one tackle until you got somebody to overclaim him. You got two guards, which are guys that are either in their third year or their second year, and you got a free agent center that is not a rookie. Then for depth, you got Rogers and other. And by the way, God, why can't we play Locky Tassi?
I mean, and that all comes into play. But see, what I'm trying to find out now, your guard, you say you can fix with you can get him from the draft. You gave me a guard, a center, and a tackle. You say the center and the tackle should come from free agency. So you saying that the guard, the DT, and the CB can all come from the draft?
Yeah, I think so because until we know what we got with Stokes, if we bring back Stokes, who is not a rookie, and we get more time with Porter, Porter just needs time and somebody that can give him the evolutions. I like what I see with Porter. A lot of those defensive pass interference calls that they had against him, I think are horseshit. I swear, Peggy, I'm not just wishing, coming to. I really think they're horseshit, and he just needs a little bit more seasoning and some officials that aren't so got their stick up the ass.
Yeah,
And
and I know that. Let's go back to the DT position. Didn't we draft two DTs this year?
yeah, but I tell you what, it's
You want to
always
draft
good to have.
another one? The
Yeah,
problem is Max. Didn't we say we're gonna look out for Max? Max
right,
needs help. He needs a DT that's going to draw double coverage
right.
and is going to be able to fill two run gaps. That's a
Yeah,
1C. That's a
yeah,
1C. I'm
Peggy.
sorry, you're not getting it from a rookie.
Wait a second. The rookie that we draft, the DT, is going to be learning the ropes because I have you seen what JJ Pegues and Hemingway can do? Can you tell these defensive tackles?
Anyway,
Wait a second. Wait a second. Remember when we had Grady Jackson?
yeah.
He didn't. He didn't. Yeah, Grady Jackson. I want to make sure I had the right guy. He didn't shine until his second year.
Oh, that's okay. And so now you're saying we're going to go the development route when Max needs help now.
He's got help. We don't even know how good these guys are because
The
he needs to
Raiders
have them
ranked
in play.
28th in sacks. Although they had a great game Sunday, they had 0 sacks. They ranked 26th in pressuring the quarterback. One of the reasons why our defense isn't doing well. And to cap it, the last 4 games, except this game against the Texans, we have given up 150 yards rushing per game.
Peggy,
Plus,
let me ask a question, but this is a reality question. Why, when there was a fumble on that play with the quarterback and he was touched down, that's a sack. I don't know why they did not give
we
whoever.
never get breaks. I'm not going to whine about the refs. The Raiders are never going to get breaks.
Not the rest.
They're always against us.
By definition, the quarterback was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, whether it was a fumble or not.
We're not going to get those calls.
I'm not talking about a call. Peggy, it was a fucking play. He had a fumble. He got on the ball, and they touched him down. That is a sack. That's like the old bullshit that what's his nose said.
Did they give us a sack?
No, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. It was wrong. It's wrong.
Wrong don't go into the stat book. We know it's wrong. But the problem is they just didn't call it. But the biggest problem, and I watch the stats of the game, every game.
Yeah.
It's not just this game where there's been no pressure and no sacks. Very few sacks. 1 sack. We've had 6 straight games of 1 sack. We had a couple of games where we had 2 sacks. We're back to where we were in 2020 with the D-line, with the exception of Max Crosby, not putting the kind of pressure. There are 3 other guys on that line by Crosby, and they're just not getting it done. Not only that, they're not doing run gap at all.
Peggy, I firmly believe, and it's because I'm gonna put on my Homer hat. I wish I hear. Wait, this is the closest I have to a Homer hat. Okay, I'm gonna put on my SEC Homer hat. Okay. This is about as SEC as you can get. I firmly believe that if you give Pegues and Hemingway more snaps, more definition, by year 2, they're going to be those bastards in the middle that push through because they're young, they're strong, and you need time to develop. And a lot of the things that they weren't doing this year was because they've been injured. Why they were injured, I don't know. Why they were injured, I don't know. But I tell you, give them time. Here's my SEC. Yahoo! In my SEC hat. Because Pegues and Hemingway were from the SEC. I saw what they do in the SEC. Give them the opportunity. And I don't know why. I really don't know why they were healthy, but get them the opportunity.
You're just not getting enough run gap coverage or pressure from the other 3 positions and on that D line. Runners are making it to the 2nd and 3rd level. We're having a major problem now with the rotations you're talking about. I don't know which rotation is a success. That's for guys that get paid to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it. I
don't get paid to do that. I'm not doing nothing I don't get paid for. And I'm saying for them to find the right rotation. Pegues and Hemingway, to me, should have been in there the 4th game.
Shit, they should have been in their game 2, but they were injured. I don't know.
That's Pete's story. I don't believe anything Pete has to say because of his commitment to not playing rookies.
Commitment to compete. And their compete is, I don't want to say it because
of course, we had a strong front office that wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
But because we have a puppet in the front office that just does what he's told, Pete was never challenged on that. Okay?
And actually that's something else that we might want to talk about. Because you were saying about my Christmas wish list, and I put a guillotine up there, and I'm like, That's my number
Well, that's
one.
our next conversation, but we have to finish this conversation. I noticed you didn't have a wide receiver on your list.
No,
Why? You think Tucker, Lockett, Thornton, and Beck are the answer?
yeah, right now they are, because I am not going to expend source resources. Maybe we get a awesome golden child, and I'm going to say his name even though he was stupid last weekend. We sometimes like an awesome golden child, like by DJ Metcalf. Somebody gets rid of their awesome golden child, and it just so happens, and we go and get him. But right now, that's not our number one concern, because our best receiver is our tight end. No
Well,
matter what you say,
and of
no matter
course, you can't sustain drives and score points when you have that situation. Everybody knows that. You need
Peggy,
a field stretching
Peggy,
wide
Peggy,
receiver that defenses fear, and we don't have
we,
that guy.
well,
That guy doesn't have. We don't have one.
Peggy, how awesome was Cliff Branch in his first year?
How awesome was the coaching that Cliff Branch have?
No. Answer the question though. How awesome was Cliff Branch in his first year?
Well, you're
No,
comparing
no, 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 no.
who's going to be a Cliff Branch? Who's going to turn into a Cliff Branch? Tucker?
Answer the frigging question.
No.
Cliff Branch couldn't catch a cold in his first year, and he had good wide receiver coaches. He developed by the mid to the end of his second year. He was great. He was a force. So I'm thinking we need to expend the time. I don't know if it's Beatty, because you were talking about we need better wide receiver coaches. That might be a problem. But these kids,
we don't know yet.
the kids need time to develop. And I think Cliff Branch, or sorry, our version of Cliff Branch right
Tucker?
now.
Are you talking about Tucker?
No, I'm talking about Thornton. I'm talking about Thornton, the young kid that maybe, and again, I have to say maybe, but if he is given the opportunity to develop, he's going to be that second year turnaround. And I really do like Besh, because we haven't employed getting him to go down the field. I don't know what his speed is, but it's the routes, it's the quarterback, it's the development. We can have Besh actually go a little
combination. It could be the play design. It could be that they're just bums. Now, I don't know yet, because in the offenses that we've seen them in this year, we've had two different offensive coordinators. So
no, we
can't. Well, whatever the case is, we've had total dysfunction on the offensive side of the coaching staff. Therefore, we really can't judge. I happen to think they're bums. But again, I want to give your theory. I think you might get. I don't think the Raiders are going. I think the Raiders are going to try to bring in somebody. But some of our wish lists out there definitely have wide receivers.
Let me get you to answer that last one. Who's the bums, the players or the guys who was calling plays?
I don't think that I'm going to say that, because I remember in August you were telling me how great Thornton was.
Yes.
His first year just didn't work for him, but it wasn't his fault.
Yes.
And I'm saying we need a better situation in order to evaluate. But my guess is greatness steps through bad coaching, bad play design, bad quarterback.
At time, when
Tim Brown played 11 different quarterbacks.
When afforded the opportunity, greatness does step in. But how often have we had to wait to see what Besh could do and what
Thornton have to wait for Tim Brown? He played for, I just said, he played for 11 different quarterbacks while he was a Raider. Okay? None of them slowed him up. It was better coaching.
Didn't Tim Brown also come in with the Heisman Trophy, like a glowing thing over? It's like Heisman Trophy. By the way, did you see the video? I don't know if you saw it.
I don't know who won the Heisman this year. I don't watch that stuff.
No. What I'm telling you is this. Tim Brown came in with the glow of the Heisman Trophy.
But it
because
still could
but
have failed because of what are the aforementioned things that we're talking about
that
that
gotcha.
could.
Even though Genty wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner, he was a finalist and that is why Genty was thrust into our game. Pete don't like to play rookies, but I tell you what, Genty's been playing every game this year, but Pete don't like to play rookies. Why? Because he was a name that had the ability and the wherewithal. You're going to put Genty in there. Bowers last year, you're going to put Bowers in there because he had all of the stuff that you need as the best tight end twice in college football, right? So he
Right.
played and he was great.
Right.
He,
And again, greatness steps up no matter look how dysfunctional the 2024 offense was. I
yeah,
mean, constant quarterback changes, right? O-line playing below par at a semi-pro level, and Brock shined anyway. Okay. And I'm saying people like Genty, people like Crosby will rise above. Beck, Thornton, and Tucker aren't in their class.
Bash and Thornton, when given the opportunity, did shine.
We'll see.
By the way, we didn't even talk about Bo's nephew, who had a chance to shine when afforded the opportunity when Pickett played. Why? Because Pickett knows him because they're on the scout team together. They have that familiarity together.
And this is going to transition us into our next discussion. Since you
Oh,
say, with better coaching, better situation, those guys could turn into stars. The next thing we got to talk about is the coaching.
well, you already know how
Don't
it's
have,
going.
well, we don't have an OC, so we don't have any idea what's going to go on the Raider offense in 2026,
No,
right?
no.
Even if Pete Carroll stays, which is our next discussion, and
Sacrilege.
I gotta hear from you. Let me say, Raider Nation is before. Let me preface what you're gonna say with what I'm gonna say. Raider Nation is split into two camps. The first camp says we're tired of the coaching changes. We need stability.
Yeah.
And for a variety of reasons, that's correct. I mean, free agents coming here. I mean, the uncertainty. It's going to be bad. The next thing is Pete Carroll got to go, and his
Yeah.
son, and his sons too. They got to go.
Well, all of them. Take
Two camps.
And Tweedle D with you. And normally, and I'm going to say this, and if you check the tape, I am of the stability route. I did not want to rush out McDaniels until I finally saw enough of him. I said, get that bum out of here. I did not want to rush out AP, and I wanted to give him that chance when he was the interim and he got the coaching. But by the midpoint of the season, if you see it ain't working and you got a bum, as you like to, I love the way you say he's a bum. I love the way that's a track. I got to do a drop on that. He's a bum. Well, if you figured out that he's a bum, you get rid of the bum. And I figured out that Pete Carroll and his Tweedles, and I don't forget the Tweedles.
Not just his sons, his other garbage on that staff.
Okay.
Other straight trash.
I got you. Pete.
And people with 0 years experience. Pete was giving jobs to friends and family. But what do we do about Pete?
See, I disagree. I know where you're going with that other one. I disagree
No,
on
that's
that
the
one.
friends and family plan. It's a Gruden all over again. But what do we do about Pete, Captain? What do we do?
Pete got PGG. Pete gotta go. I like that. PGG. Pete gotta go. And Pete they will sweep out. No, listen to me. If you know that if you ate some food and you know it's bad and it's in your fridge, it's like, no, I need to get rid of it because it's bad. It's bad food. When I have tickets to a play or a movie and I'm like, man, no, it's bad. I'm not going to that. I'm not going to waste my time watching garbage on the screen or on the stage because it's horrible. When you know it's bad and it's been fed to you, you get rid of it. And again, I said before the season or before we made the coaching change, this is the table. I'm pounding my fist. Pete Carroll is the best coaching available out there. Give me Pete Carroll. I said that. I was wrong
Well, a
as
lot of
wrong.
us were. A lot of us are really truly shocked at how unprepared Pete Carroll is. And I'm going to tell you another thing about Pete. I'm going to go even further. Pete disrespected the Raiders and Raider fans. He thought he could bring in his garbage coaching staff and
Uh-huh.
pull a fast one on us as if we weren't going to figure out that he was unprepared to coach the Raiders. Totally. I feel disrespected by Pete Carroll most of all. How dare he bring his C game to the table?
No, he'd have to improve to get a C game. I think it was a flunk right from the beginning. It was a flunk from the beginning. And I'm going to segue. I'm going to jump because I haven't looked at what's in your pages, but I know where this is going. I'm going to segue because you've already alluded to it as far as management and ability and checks and balances, right?
Right.
I still say, and again, and I don't give respect to most anything that comes out of Tampon Bay, think Pirate Land. Most of the time.
And you're going to tell me that you think Spytek is great and he should pick the next head coach?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you the list. It could be that the Raiders are going to do just what you said.
I don't
Let
think
me
he's
give you the errors that Spytek, as the know-nothing GM, has done since he got here. Error number one, not doing anything about that O-line. Okay. Error number.
No. See, that's wrong. He did draft.
No. He did nothing to improve the quality of the O-line.
He drafted a guard and a tackle in the draft.
Rookies are less
then brought in a subpar Kappa. That was the mistake. He brought in a subpar
three guys, and none of them were going to start. He knew that. Mistake number two, doing what Pete said with Geno Smith. A, getting Geno instead of Darnold. There's arguments out there. And then B, giving the man a 3-year contract extension before he had played one down for. That's Spytek. That comes to the front office. Wait a minute. Going out here to get.
Wait a second. Number 3. We don't know what goes.
I have a list of 10 rookie mistakes that Spytek has already made.
Okay, Peggy, when your boss, and that's the guy with the bowl cut haircut, tells you we're gonna bring this guy in. And remember, Geno Smith, per my sources, was thrust upon this guy, this club, by none other than seven finger red guy Brady. So no, I don't want
Brady got Geno?
Yes. Geno is a product.
Didn't have anything to do with it.
Geno is a product of Brady. Brady brought in Geno.
Huh?
He did. Geno.
No.
Yes.
Okay, we're not going to argue about that.
No, we are going to argue about that.
No,
because
we're not going to, because Pete is the one that actually played with Geno.
Yes, but he was
Geno. Excuse me, not played with him. Pete actually coached. Tom Brady doesn't know anything about Geno except through Pete Carroll.
Pete wanted to get Sam Darnold and was overruled by seven-finger ring.
Says who?
A source that knows things within
somebody with no name. Now, let's go on.
No, I got a name, but you know what, Peggy? You don't fucking give up names on sources because that is a tattoo.
If you're going to rely on someone who you cannot name, that's your reason. I mean, I'm not going to attack that. What I am going to say is,
do you know why that the people in intelligence don't give up sources? Because once you give up the name,
I've been with the Raiders organization 30 years. Don't lecture to me on
that. I'm not talking to Raiders.
The Raiders stop talking to you.
It's not me. It's not me.
They will
It's
stop
somebody.
telling you things if you give up their names. So I already know you can't
Okay,
reveal
I'm
the
not going to
source.
argue with you, but you're wrong as hell on this one. I'm just
You
saying.
can't reveal the source. But what I am saying is that is something that a strong GM would have figured out. No, I'm not going to give him a 3-year extension before he's shown us.
That was wrong, but you know what? That might not have been his
Shown
fucking
us.
thing to do. If
Well,
your
the whole
boss
point
tells you,
is
if
that tells me Spytek's not in charge.
right now he's not. Right now he's
Bad,
not. Mophead and
bad.
Seven Finger Guy is in charge. Those are the guys that's
Mhm.
in charge. Mophead and Seven Finger Guy. That's management.
I don't
And
know who those are. Who's Mophead and who's Second Finger Guy?
Mophead is white-haired Mo from the Three Stooges, aka Mark Davis. That's
Mark isn't
Mophead.
in charge of a thing. He doesn't know jack shit about football.
What I'm saying is he is getting his
Everybody knows that.
he's getting his information from Seven Finger Ring Guy, which is
Who is
Tom
that?
Brady.
So
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady is
Tom
running
Brady.
Mark Davis, and that's why Spytek has no power
Yeah,
to say
because
no to Pete Carroll.
uh, okay. You know what? I'm going to shut up on this one. You're not going to listen to me anyway. Go
Well, I
ahead.
just want to understand the logic of what you're saying because it might make sense. I'm
I'll
saying to
say
you, so Spytek is in a position where he has to listen to the owners, and do what they tell him to do. And when Pete Carroll says, I'm going to keep my son, who's run the worst Raider O line in Raider history, and Spytek can't tell him, no, you're going to fire him, just like you fired Chip Kelly, who's indeed a bigger name than your son.
right.
Explain how that didn't happen.
I'm saying that right now, as of what time are we on? We're at 7:40 p.m. on wonderful Christmas Eve. By here, you
Mm-hmm.
see the file, 7:40 p.m. on wonderful Christmas Eve, and
Go ahead.
we're on Christmas Eve. As of right now, he does not have that power, and I'm
And you
saying
think he's going to get that power once Pete Carroll is gone?
I think that he is going to be more in charge once Pete is gone. Because I'm telling you, folks, if he doesn't, then we're for another 3 or 4 years.
Now that makes sense, Captain. If a GM with only 1 year experience who spent the year
At a, at
being
a
butt
GM,
up by his head coach,
a
okay,
GM
and
that,
if that 1 year will make him a better GM when Pete Carroll is not exerting his influence and telling him what to do, that would make sense. The question is, do you trust Spytek's judgment? Do you have any record on which to base as a GM?
not as a GM, because this is his first year as a GM, but by pedigree, being with Light in Tampon Bay, I give him. I say it.
Well,
Being
Pete's
with
sons
Light.
have pedigree.
What?
Pete's sons have pedigree. Pedigree don't mean jack
No,
shit.
wait a second. Peggy, I respect you. I would say the pedigree that they have is down here that I would show on camera, but you're a lady.
But
But you're a lady.
pedigree, I just said butt fuck, so we pretty much passed that. What I'm saying is that, and I'm saying that because that's all that's been happening to Spytek all year long. Okay,
Yeah.
he's just been pushed around, ignored, told what to do, and he goes and does it, and he doesn't complain. Do we have any pressers with Spytek at all?
Not that I've seen, but I don't get to have the chance to
So
really look.
now he's a GM behind the curtain, silent.
Yeah. Right now he is.
And
Right
the
now he
question
is.
now, Pete Carroll goes, okay, whatever it be. Who hires the next head coach?
If
Spytek
Pete Carroll goes,
or his owners?
I would say Spytek then has more authoritative power to tell Seven Finger Ring Guy, You brought me in here. You brought me in here as your buddy. Let me do my fucking job while you kind of do your job with that Fox bullshit, because that's another thing I got that I'm pissed off at. You're either the part owner and want to exert some power over your team, or you do your TV gig and do that. If you're doing things half-assed, you fucking fail at both of them. And I'm pissed at that.
Well, so you trust Spytech to hire the next head coach
yeah.
and to get us the talent that we need to improve the team and to take care of all these re-signings that are coming up next year.
Yeah.
And to do the draft.
Yes. Based upon where he has been.
No.
Yes.
Okay, well then, I don't believe that.
Until you get the job, remember the things like I need the job. Well, you need to have.
You keep telling me that this guy can do the job on only being a GM 1 year, listening to Pete Carroll order him around.
Oh, fuck Pete Carroll. I'm sorry.
Pete's been getting his way.
Yeah, because that's pretty much, that is the structure right now. It's Mophead and Brady and Pete Carroll and then Spytech. Once that gets different, once you get rid of Pete Carroll and his flunkies, all his flunkies, then you can start building what you want. And based upon where he has been and what the Bucks have done, good and bad, because there's experience there. He wasn't there doing the Todd Light things, but he saw it by a very good general manager.
I know there's just like there's two camps on the question of whether Pete Carroll should stay or go. There's also two camps about whether Spytech should stay or go.
Yeah.
I don't believe he has the chops for what my vision of what the Raiders need to turn this franchise around.
Peggy, we need to get star GM.
Well, yes, we do. We definitely need a strong, experienced GM.
Wait a second. You just shot yourself in the foot, because you said we're going to give a job to somebody, and you're now the GM. You're now the GM, a experienced GM.
Two
because I said Peggy,
I was explaining the other camp.
You're the GM.
I was explaining. I think I've been consistent about the experience side of the GM. I feel like this franchise will never be right until we understand that the GM is in charge. He has the vision. He is the one he is the check and balance on the head coach. There is not going to be a head coach running the front office. He decides. The GM decides.
And that is why.
Who doesn't? Which coach stays? Which coach doesn't?
That is why, if that does not occur, I will tune out. I'll go to my games and I'll see my family, and I'll go through the rigmarole of watching the same bullshit year after year after year. If it doesn't occur, we're fucked for another 3 years or so.
If we don't get it, if Mark and Brady don't get the understanding that the franchise is run from the GM's office and not the sidelines, we're just going to have season after. We're going to be sitting here in December.
I agree.
Talking about our Santa list, right? For next year, we'll be going down the list of free agents, right? Who's available? We'll be doing that every year.
Yeah, we got the mock draft in October. We need this guy.
Exactly. We'll start seeing mock draft posts in October, because most people who know the game know which direction this is heading. We'll just keep doing it until we understand we need strength, and the head coach, his only job is to develop players and prepare them for games. And coach
and by the way, because I'm glad you said that. The head coach's job is to develop players that are provided to him by
The
who?
GM.
GM. So who got these players that I was talking about? Hemingway and Pegues and Thornton and Besh and Porter. What
We don't know. We don't know how these guys, because
he got the
they've
players.
had such bad coaching this year. Things have gone so
See,
bad for the
I
team.
get that. I get that. But you said
Nothing.
it's up to the head coach to do it, right? You just said it, correct?
Yeah,
It's
that's his
up to the
job.
head coach to do it. So if I give you the players, if I build you, I give you the ingredients for the cake, and you're not using the ingredients for the
Then
cake
I
is
get
going
rid of
to
you. That and this is the two camps in Raider Nation. The
uh
two camps are the camp that says, "Give me a head coach and a quarterback, and we're going to win a lot of games." The other, there's the camp with people like me in it that know the successful franchises have very strong and very talented and experienced GM that don't back down to a coach or an owner. It's
okay.
another part of this equation too. It's a team effort. It's a group effort. But ultimately the owner trusts the GM to chart the course for the people used to talk about Al all the time, micromanager. Remember all the stories?
Oh
You
yeah, the
know,
telephone
Al's
call.
yeah, right. Al's telling me I should play or which coach I need to, retain and which coach I need to fire.
Al
People
would be calling down at during like when they fuck up, and he'd be calling the sidelines to tell them,
exactly.
get him, tell them to do this. Okay, we got you, Al.
But what we didn't understand is that's the job of the GM.
Yeah,
That's his job
but see,
to
that's the
correct.
other thing you were talking. That's the
Hmm.
other thing you were talking about. Like we haven't heard from the
Nothing for
GM. We
spy tech.
haven't had any
Nothing.
of those pieces. Let me, Peggy. How often do you hear from the general managers during the season? Honestly,
In other franchises, and I'm so blessed to have a
other
plethora
than
of
other
fans.
than the Eagles,
They will come out,
okay.
and
Other than
especially when they know it's time for damage control. Smart GMs
right,
know it's time for their voice to be heard, so that the fans
okay.
know and the press know their position and distinguish it from the head coach's position. Smart GMs know when it's time to
You
do
know
that.
what? I understand that, and I agree with
Howie
that.
has
But also,
conferences.
wait a second, Peggy. A smart guy also knows if the guy that's going out into the press conferences each week is just shooting himself in the foot and just giving more ammunition for him to be fired. He just sits back and lets it happen. He's like, "Yo, go on, Pete.
But
Fuck up another press
let me
conference because
explain
you're just
how
shooting yourself."
the psychology of a GM coming out. It's it's more than just distinguishing his position from the head coach. It's
Thank you,
giving the
Avatar.
fans it's giving fans hope. In other words, the fans want to see that somebody is behind the scenes thinking about everything that has happened,
I got you.
and that there is a plan in place to fix what is wrong. So the GM's presser serves two purposes. Okay, he's not
Okay.
he's not going to crap on his coach, right? But he's going to let people know that this is not a hopeless situation, folks. We
You know what?
can.
I understand that. I understand that, and I agree to a point. I agree to a point. But remember, they're saying. I think that, and I do think, and this is me. I do think that I actually do think, right? I do think that they're trying to figure out how to boot Pete the nice way by having him
Who's they? Who's they? See, I
front
keep
office,
talking about one
front office,
guy, a
front office,
DM, a
front
strong
office,
DM.
front office, Peggy, front office.
So that no, there isn't a collective decision. The GM is the final decision maker in a
Okay,
in a in a front
that is
office.
what that is why I said that you haven't heard from Spike Tech because behind the scenes they're saying, you know what, Pete, at the end of the year, you're going to retire or I'm going to fire you. And I
Okay.
think Pete knows that. I think Pete knows that. And they're planning to play night and they're giving him enough rope, not only to hang himself, but to drown himself when he jumps off the bridge into the river. They're giving him
So,
all that rope to be
so,
that guy, to be so
so
inept that
can
they're
you
going to get rid of him.
find some words of comfort? Maybe it's not, you're not getting paid for it, for the
I get it.
people that are worried about the stability and how it looks to the rest of the league, especially potential free agents that we need to be recruiting. When you constantly are changing, how does it? Can you give that camp some words of comfort? The stability camp. Can you do that for them? Because they get it that Pete should go, but
The things that the things that the things that the things that you can always anticipate with the Raiders is that you're going to have squirrel houses. You're going to have,
why?
some
But
more
why?
shit that you got to deal with. Why? Because even when Al was running shit, Peggy, there was a whole bunch of circus shit going
Lot of
on.
stuff
Correct?
going on, and until 10 years before he passed, the team was great enough, and the coaching was great enough to overcome that.
Yes, I
But there
agree.
came a point where there was a decline in the play and the coaching,
Yeah.
where this mess that's going on. And see, we haven't even had a show about the politics of the Raider inside of that Raider organization. How many people are in there trying to save their jobs instead of helping these head coaches win? But we need to have a show about that, because I
That'd be
strongly suspect sabotage from insiders inside of the Raider organization. And it's not a coincidence that we've had 6, 7, 8, now going on 8 head coaches, and they've all failed.
yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
None of them.
And
The
I guarantee
emails, Gruden emails, Jack Del Rio going from the best season in 2016 to complete crap in
yeah,
2017.
but he threw his hat
Too
in
much
he
faith.
threw his hat in to be a coach again, from what I understand. I didn't see the exact quote on that.
Well, the whole thing with Ken Norton Jr. and bringing in the co-defensive coordinator Pagano. I mean, that whole nonsense. But you're right about the crap going on behind the scenes that
Yes.
fans don't see, that now has overtaken the organization.
Yeah.
It really has. With Al gone, it just really skyrocketed. And nothing Mark has done has worked. Nothing.
That we can agree on that. We can agree
And
on.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's by design, by Raider insiders, and we don't know who these shadowy figures are, just like the unnamed sources. But I
Yes.
can also say that the people, if we do get rid of Pete Carroll, the next question is, who hires the next head coach?
Yes. No, that's a good question. But I also think the person who hires the next head coach has got to have ammunition. They got to have ammunition to get the right head coach in. And the best ammo that we got possibly coming up is the number one pick. Because that is no, Peggy, let me listen to me on this one. I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah. We're gonna get a quarterback. He's gonna be dog shit. I get that. But what I'm saying is the ammo, the carrot, the golden carrot, or the biggest red carrot, however you want to say it, is we got the number one pick, and we're giving you the opportunity, you being
You
whichever
you see the
coaching talent
difference is,
there.
I hear you, but the difference is you trust Spy Tech. I don't.
I do.
with
I
that.
do. I do trust Spytek. Be based
I
upon
don't believe he's strong enough or experienced enough for what the Raider organization needs, especially with all that background politics going on.
I
And
understand.
remember,
I
there's a
understand that.
V. Don't we have a senior VP of player personnel, Rick Foos, right?
Yeah, is that the guy that
That's the
was
guy
going
we
up?
got from Denver earlier this year.
No, I'm talking. I'm talking about what we also got was Howie Roseman's right hand man to work with our scouts and stuff. And who brought him in? Spytek.
Well, but the whole point now you're gonna give that to Spy Tech, but you're not gonna give anything else that went on with that front office to Spy Tech.
No, I'm just saying that you. How can you say? Wait a second. How the fuck can you say that all of these draft picks suck when they were there and the
I
coaches didn't
never
play?
said that. I said there is no basis to evaluate them because of the poor coaching that they have
Okay,
had all year.
there you
I
go.
don't know what to think about them. You've made
Yeah.
judgments about them. I haven't. I
Oh,
don't
but
know
I okay.
anything. I don't feel it's fair to judge them because they've been so poorly coached.
Thank you. They have been so poorly coached.
So
I will.
there's nothing I can say about their potential or anything else because I don't know.
Yeah, but I will also say, how do you become? How do you become an experienced GM? How do you become an experienced GM?
Someone takes a chance on you and trusts you and hands you the keys to their franchise and they step back. So we're going to be yet another guinea pig. McKenzie, Mayock, Ziegler. Shall I go on?
Yeah, but I tell you
Do
what,
we always have to be the
no, no.
training?
You just
Do
gave
we
me
always have to be
you
the
just gave
training
me the
wheels?
ammunition I needed. You just gave me the ammunition I needed. McKenzie was a force fed by Madden and Ron Wolf and Ken Harris.
He had zero experience as a GM. Go
I
on.
got that, but that was force fed to Mark by those three guys who Mark
Mark
had.
could have said no, but he didn't have the brains to do it. So
You
yeah.
know why? Because Mark doesn't know what a fucking hot dog is between
He
a hot
wouldn't
dog.
know. I mean, there's no way Mark would have any basis to judge whether he's getting good advice at all.
I, I get it, and you know what? He still has not hit on that as well
No,
because
and he doesn't, and it's clear that he doesn't really intend to learn. But we've had
he doesn't care.
first time GM
That's just
Mayock came in
me.
here, zero experience. Ziegler came in here, zero experience. Haven't we had enough of that?
Well, now he's got a year experience after this
Oh,
year, right?
whoopee. Just like Pete's two offensive quality control guys, right?
Oh no, 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 no.
The
One's a
one
oh
that came
no.
in with zero experience,
Wait a
and now
second.
Raiders.com says they have 1 year experience because they
Well,
lasted the season.
well, you know what? I don't know who those guys are. I don't know. I just know about Brendan Carroll. They had zero offensive line coaching experience.
Well,
Zero.
again, a strong GM would never have allowed that to happen. And certainly after the
Oh,
performance of the O line, he
and
would not have
if
allowed
your
him.
boss if your boss tells you, by the way, who was hired first? It was Pete Carroll.
Spytek was first. No. The timeline says Spytek, Carroll was hired 3 days after Spytek. Now, it could have been they were just in contract negotiations and it
And
probably.
I firmly believe, Peggy, I firmly believe maybe on the timeline it says Carroll was after Spytek. No, they were negotiating with Carroll, and he
And
was
that's one of the reasons why they let Telesco go. Because
yeah.
when they decided on Carroll, they also decided at the same time they could not have him there with an experienced GM.
Well, I'm
That's
saying
why, because
and
Pete intended to come in and run the front office too. So they
yeah.
needed a puppet and they needed to find a puppet
Well, you
to
know what?
do as he was told.
I
And
I
what has
don't
Spartak
I
done
don't
all year?
I
He's
you
done it
know
for
what? I don't think he is as much of a puppet when he will be given the opportunity
we shall see.
once they boot Pete Carroll. And if I'm wrong there, I will say, you know what? He wasn't all
I
that.
mean, the fans absolutely need to look at this carefully. This two camps, okay? the two camps of, gosh, we're getting rid of yet another head coach after 1 year.
And you know what?
How
I
that?
used to call the Raiders the tango, the NFL tango. One,
Mm-hmm,
two, head coach gone. 1, 2, head coach
mm-hmm,
gone. 2 years. They were a 2 year, 1, 2, 5 year, 1, 2, 5. I think that's the tango, right? 1, 2 kick or one,
mm-hmm.
two. The Raiders were that for years and years and years. They were you're two and gone.
Right.
But I tell you, when they knew you had a shit product, I think Mike White only lasted a year. I think Joe
Yeah.
Bugle. I think Joe Bugle only lasted a year. I think,
Mm-hmm.
because when they figure out you got a real shit product and you
Right.
figure it out before you go 2 years, you get rid of it. And AP had his interim stuff, and then they
Yeah,
gave him the
and then you said that all before. What I'm saying is, what do you say to that camp, which I respect,
yeah,
is the fact that when you keep changing for whatever the reason, because you keep making bad choices, right?
yeah, uh,
You said you get rid of them when they're bad. You keep making bad choices. Okay. Now, if you get rid of them over and over, one every year, this is our second year in a row where we went through two offensive coordinators. Who does that in the NFL? Who in the NFL has done that?
well,
Ever?
I would say that, and that's why I said we really have had three offensive coordinators, and I'll give you the reasoning
What do you
why.
mean? Like from last year
No,
and
no,
then
no,
this year we've
no,
had
no,
three?
no, no, no. May I explain, please? I was getting ready to do that. Okay, Pete overrode Chip Kelly's offense, which
No,
was
no, no.
one
I'm
of
talking about the fact that the stability thing. That's all I'm talking about, Captain, is what it looks like from the outside looking in.
okay on
It
the
doesn't
outside,
matter why or who was behind
outside,
it or
outside.
anything.
Yeah, on
It's
the outside,
bad.
it's two. But I really think it was games that Chip was allowed to do his shit, and
Yeah,
other
well, it
games.
happened last year. We hired Getsy. We
No,
couldn't
I'm
keep
talking
him.
about this year. I'm talking about
No,
this year.
what I said was this is the second year in a row
Yeah,
we have fired our offensive coordinator mid-season.
yeah, mid to late. Yeah.
What it must look like for people looking outside in.
Well, they know that the Raider. Oh, here. Wait a second. Here, stop the presses. Here's your headline: Raiders dysfunctional NFL team.
What does
Everybody,
that do for our recruitment for coaches,
it's
for
hard.
coaches,
It's
staff,
hard.
and player and free agents?
It's hard. But you know
It
what?
really is.
Sometimes you gotta say, listen, we fucked up for the last 20, and that's being kind.
Mm-hmm.
But we gotta start with a positive, and we are doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you said, give me one thing you can say that. I said, we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get with especially like I said, that carrot. If it's the number one pick, or if God forbid we don't get the number one pick, we're gonna have to trade up for it.
Right.
If you have that as your carrot, then you say, we got the team, we got Bowers and Crosby and Genty, and we're going to give you the opportunity to run shit and John's going to get you shit. John's going to be the man. You got to answer to John, and
Mm-hmm.
John's going to get you the stuff because John's done well. He didn't really hit on the free agents, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who. And again, people are telling me about you told me about the 3 year contract shit. I don't know if he had the choice or that was force fed to him. Because remember, we're talking about what powers did he have or not. Okay, I'm saying that was a
Mm-hmm.
mistake too. And if it's on his resume, then yeah, it's on his resume. But there are things that are on your resume sometimes that you didn't do. You know,
Mm-hmm. Right. And this is something that just keeps Raider fans up at night
I
because we've
got
seen all the bad mistakes that happen when we have to choose another GM or have to choose another head
you.
coach.
Yeah, yeah. And you know
And
what? And we actually were talking about this last night on the other show about the what in the NFL do you want? Do you want to have like the haves and the have-nots, which we've had? When the Raiders were part of the haves in the '70s, and
Mm-hmm.
they were haves, and the was it the Packers? It were the
Right.
haves in the '60s, and the Steelers, and and now there's more of their what is it where everybody's about the same. There's a name for that. I can't.
But
I can't.
go
But
ahead.
what I'm saying is, we gotta have a place where say we're gonna do things right, and we're gonna start by getting rid of Pete and the boys, and we're gonna give you the opportunity working with a dude that has great pedigree with John Spytek, who worked with Jason Light in Tampa, and we're gonna get good things going. And
We're gonna
you're gonna be
we're gonna
part of
have this conversation a year from now because you really believe Spy Tech is the one that's gonna get that front office leadership that's going to right the ship. Because until we fix that front office
it. Yeah,
and
I agree.
understand that all the power goes there,
Yeah.
not with the head coach.
Yes.
Until we fix that equation, we're not going to. You feel like Spytek's the man that can execute the vision, and he's going to need time more
I
than
got
he's going to need time. I give you that, but you think he's the guy?
I think, and this is the I think if afforded the opportunity, and
Mm-hmm.
and this is the thing, if he's afforded the opportunity to say, John, you run the head coach and staff. That's your job as a GM. If they don't give him that opportunity, and like I said, we're going to be fucked for another 3 or 4 years, Peggy. I'm saying if he's afforded the opportunity to do what he is
Well,
supposed
let's
to,
say it this way: if I believe if the Raiders get the vision of the powers and authorities of the GM thing right, we
correct.
have a chance. The
Yes.
next thing is making sure the right guy is in there and
Yeah.
has the guts not to let a head coach. I don't
Walk
care
over.
what his name is,
Uh-huh.
exercise the authority of a GM. Never let the head coach encroach on that. He's
Right.
got to understand that he has to be able to walk into Pete Carroll's office and say, your son got to go.
Yeah.
Just like somebody or told him that Chip Kelly had to go or that special teams coach had to go.
Who are
Why
all,
is nobody telling
who are all
why is nobody telling Carroll that his son has to go?
because he's not given the opportunity to exert that yet. The structure as of now, because Pete Carroll on the authority block, on the line and block chart, Pete Carroll is
Mhm.
over Spytek right now.
Hold
That's
on, hold on. Sacktown just came on to tell us he had his hip surgery today.
oh, okay.
How Sacktown, we're really great. It's a really
Right.
great that you're through that. Except that it was Christmas Eve, and so we're wishing you a Merry Christmas, sitting in your chair, of course, recovering, and we hope
Yes.
that your replacement, your rehab goes well. We
Yes. I,
do.
I thank you for I get so involved with you because I have to be on my toes with you, Peggy, that
Oh,
I
and there's
sometimes
Cool Tab.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
we had
yes, yeah.
yeah, we cool Cav is on, and greetings to you as well on this Christmas Eve. And I'm on a lot longer with the captain because we haven't been on in a couple of weeks, so we haven't really caught
Oh yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we
And
but
those
have a
jerks out there, those jerks out there that don't understand that Captain and I known each other a long time, and there is a lot
this
of
is
give and take.
normal.
And
This
we
is
are going
normal.
to
Yeah.
interrupt each other and
And
curse and
we're
do
gonna talk
whatever
over each
we
other.
do.
We're gonna curse, and it's like it's like we've been married for years because we're gonna talk
Absolutely.
over each other, and we're gonna curse and swear, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But no, you're gonna listen to me.
Exactly.
No, you're gonna listen to me. I said it. No, you're gonna. Hey, who was it that was saying
What?
that? I like Chuck, right? Chuck, this. I love Peggy, and Peggy loves me, and she has her views, and I have mine. But
We just have
Peggy
different
and
views
Peggy and
about
I'm me.
certain things. Come on,
Yeah.
I'm negative. Yeah. I think
How can you
that
be positive? It's hard to be
right,
positive. It's hard to be
but the
positive.
other part is, and Captain, is something I said offline, and I want everybody to hear this. You going out to Raider games late in this season, this repeat deja vu of the 2006 season, right?
God,
Which
yeah.
I was all out on the road in December too. But you just showing up, me and you talking, me giving my after game recaps. We are showing Raider Nation
That we
that
care.
we care and we're hanging in there with our team no matter how bad they're doing. And let me tell you,
They're bad.
this has been a season that has tested
Yeah.
diehards. Now I see the difference between diehards and Raider fans. And there
Yeah.
is a difference. The diehard clubs all around the nation are still going strong. You were with the Atlanta crew, right? The Atlanta Black Hole crew in
Yeah.
Houston. Diehards, right?
Yeah.
Bad Guy, Miss T, Derek Watt, all those people
And
are
actually,
diehards.
give props. Well, when I was in Atlanta with the Black Hole Crew and the Atlanta Raider Booster Clubs with
Right.
Kita and
Yeah,
all of their
all of
men,
them.
they're going to games and they're seeing a shit show week after week after
We
week,
don't
right?
care. We don't
But
care.
out there, and then Vic and T and then Jode coming out there doing their
Mm-hmm.
thing, being out there and performing in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
doing great things, and it's because they care, we care, and I even get up out of my chair and
Right.
dance. I even get up
Right.
out of my chair and dance. When I tell you
Right.
what, it's got to be a good beat, and it's got to be a good looking lady in front of me. I admit that. I
What
admit that.
Captain loves the ladies. But let me tell you, that is inspiration to see people out in Houston, as many Raider fans as there were in Houston. Here it is, December 21st, in a midst of probably a 2-15 season. And it
Yeah,
reminds, I keep going back to the reminder of the 2006 season where we were out in Baltimore through a big tailgate and everything, and the Baltimore Ravens crushed us. I mean,
that was the
really,
Harbaugh going for it on a fake field goal against us, right?
not only that, that was the Aaron Brooks fumbling the ball.
Don't,
Remember, two series in a row, and they
yeah,
like stop smoking that weed, and then he brings in Andrew Walter.
sure. And by the way, folks, that is why I tell people, and this is true. Listen to me. Don't ever burn. And there are people that burn their Raider jerseys, right? I have an Aaron Brooks jersey.
Yeah, right.
Wait, I can take the jersey and find the right tailor and make it a Genty jersey immediately.
Exactly. I mean, what? Come on. We know why our Raiders are dysfunctional, but we've had some great days. We've had some great decades. Some franchises don't have any Super Bowl wins. There's 11 of them. And I'm saying to you, anytime you think we're doing bad, you think about the Falcon fans and the
Or
Cardinal
Chargers,
fans and
or yeah,
especially the
and
Chargers fans.
I love throwing that on onto
I
the
mean,
Chargers fans.
Panthers and Jags and Texans fans
Yeah,
who are sitting there wondering, when is it going to be our year?
my turn. What's my turn?
I mean, we've had our time in the sun. Maybe it's not going to come back for a long time, but I
Oh,
can tell
please,
you,
no.
maybe.
Peggy, I tell you, and Peggy is. She always said, "Well, I'm so much older than you," and I don't care. She's so young, right? But God help us both.
Yeah.
We need to see at least one more Lombardi hoist. We need
We
to
would
see.
love it, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime
Oh,
because of Mark Davis,
eh,
the ownership.
yeah,
But
but
remember, Mark is 70. He
yeah,
has
that, you
no
also
heirs. He
you
has
also
no
said
heirs.
you also said and this for all those people that are saying Mark's got to sell, Mark's got to. Okay, I got
Just
it.
wait.
But
Just wait.
until it happens, until it happens, and until don't they have to have like a plan that when you
No, no,
because what
no.
right,
What people that I keep saying he's not. He has no heirs for a reason. The
yeah,
rule in the NFL is the only way you can hand the team over to somebody without a vote is if it's a family member, a
ah,
direct family member. But if you try to hand the team to somebody who's not a family member,
that's when it goes
then
through court.
that's no, it has to go to a vote by
Yeah,
the
well,
other
basically,
owners
court,
to approve
it's
the
just court.
ownership,
It's
right?
court. It's NFL court. It's not legal court, but it's
And
NFL
so
court.
people have to understand Mark has no heirs. So that means that the team is probably going to be up for sale by the estate. And the new owner will have to be approved by the NFL. Just wait. You just have to wait it out. He's 70 years old. He ain't going to live forever. And according to what I hear about his lifestyle, it could be that he might not be, but we never know.
Ah,
Well,
well,
I don't feel
okay,
like we'll see a Lombardi until we get a
yeah.
new one.
Having said that, and I'm not going to say bad things other than if you know what Mark Davis was doing all those years that you never saw him, I'm just gonna
Right.
I feel it like that. Can I say it like that and be right,
Yes,
Peggy?
you
There was
definitely.
a reason. There was a reason why Al didn't bring his son into the fold because Mark was doing other things, and those other things are detrimentally unhealthy for you. So,
But Al didn't do the most important thing that Jack Kent Cook did do. Jack Kent Cook put his team into a trust. He put it in his will that his sons were not going to inherit the team. He put the team in trust, and the trust sold the team. The sons didn't have enough money to buy it. Al didn't do that.
yeah, that was a fuck up
Al allowed the son he had kept away from the game to
for a reason
inherit the
we won't
team.
go on this show
No,
because
no. Actually, his wife inherited the team.
yes, and all those people that
But
are talking
Al
about oh,
knew that she
right,
was going to turn it over to her only son, Mark.
yeah,
He knew that. Jack Kent Cook had two no good sons, and he was determined that neither one of them were going to get the Redskins. And
yeah,
he wrote that, he put that team in a trust, and the trust sold the team,
yeah.
unfortunately, to Snyder.
I was
Probably
going to
didn't
say
make
it,
a
it
difference.
went to Snyder,
I know they,
and
they might not have done any worse by selling it to his
yeah.
son. I know.
Well, Snyder's out now, so
But he,
that was what that was 30 years or so, at
yeah.
least 20 that Snyder had the team. So that
But,
let's call it 25 that Dan Snyder was in charge. So you have to
but,
wait that long. I don't know if
but
I can wait another 20.
Al could have done what Jack Kent Cook did, but Al didn't. He just
No,
couldn't disinherit his son. He just couldn't do it. It was his
my
only son. He couldn't do it. And what, I can't blame him. I mean, he's a
yeah.
father.
But see, here's the thing, and this is a great segue, Peggy, because you gave me the great segue. According to the book, that a lot of people think that he gave his only begotten son X.
Look at
It
you.
works. It works. It works, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
His only begotten son. I'm not going to do any Bible scripture quotes because I suck at it, right? But his
Mm-hmm.
only begotten son. I've
That's
heard that
right.
before.
Yeah.
I've
He
heard
couldn't
that before,
he
and
couldn't
it works.
disinherit. And I don't know what to say about that, but it reminded me of a situation. I always tell this story about Edward the First of England, a king of England, a mighty
Uh-huh.
warrior king, had this no good son who was his going to be his heir.
Yeah.
And he could have given, made sure that the kingdom did not go to that no good son after, hi, Nan. He could have made sure that that kingdom did not go to that no good son, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. He said,
Yeah. That's Anna Diaz.
and as a
Yeah.
result, when that no good son got the kingdom, he completely destroyed England to the point where the man's wife had to dethrone him
Yeah.
and
I,
execute him.
I know something about having something that was given to somebody and then it was destroyed within a couple years. Not that. Yeah. Yeah. This is a joke between Peggy and I, right?
Yeah, I
Something.
know. I know it. It's true though. You sit up there and you know what's going to happen when certain
Yeah.
people get a hold of your stuff.
Yeah.
But some fathers and mothers just cannot do it. And in this case, Al knew that Mark was not fit to run a franchise, and now we all know it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was for different reasons. It had nothing to do with Mark's brains. He just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
There's stuff going on.
he's just not interested in the goings on of running a football franchise. And it seems like he never was.
Yeah.
Never. It was almost like, oh, it's dad. I hate dad, so I hate everything dad did. Don't you see that
Yeah.
psychology almost?
But
It's
I'll
like
take this money and do other things with it. I won't say
right.
what. I
But
won't say.
the Raider. This is where we're going to have another show, and I've got to run. But we're going to have another show about how this franchise has deteriorated to the state that it's deteriorating. Well, we don't know whether the cart's leading the horse or the horse leading the cart. We don't know anymore. Things are so backwards and confused now about the Raiders. And it's just when it seems we have hope, then another wheel falls off. It never works. But I can't believe this is what we're going to have to show about. I can't believe that everybody from McKenzie to this guy of Spytech and every head coach from Dennis Allen to Pete Carroll has simply failed. It's
And
just
actually,
too much going
you brought
on.
you brought up things, and you were talking about franchises that have never won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they have in common, I'm going to say, there's actually one that finally won it a couple years ago. Actually, no,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't.
Uh,
Franchise have not won a Super Bowl, and it's because of ownership. Cincinnati and Cleveland and Detroit
Falcons.
and
But no,
Arizona.
Cleveland since Art Modell left, right? We got to
Yeah.
distinguish the Cleveland.
Well,
So the
but
Cleveland,
yeah,
after
but
Modell left, and then they set up the replacement franchise.
right.
It's just been a disaster. They've gone through 24 quarterbacks. I mean, just when you think the Raiders look bad, I always remind myself by looking at Cleveland, looking at the Falcons, looking at the Cardinals under the Bidwells, and of course, what do you call them? The Garglers.
The
The
Garglers,
Garglers.
baby.
Yes,
The
yes.
Garglers. Yeah.
I mean, when I look at those franchises, how would you like to be a fan of a team that for 70, 80 years has been trying to win an NFL championship or a Super Bowl? 80 years under the same family. You, the Bidwells, for instance, with the Cardinals. I mean,
Right.
after a
And
while,
wait a second. The Cardinals. I'm going to drop some history. I know Peggy knows this.
go
The
ahead.
Cardinals started in Chicago.
Chicago, correct.
They were the Chicago Cardinals, and they couldn't get the time of day because the Bears, who had changed their name from the Staleys to the Bears, they owned Chicago. So he said, I'm going to move my team to a new frontier. and he moved them to St. Louis.
St.
And then
Louis.
they
Right.
were okay for a little while, but they still didn't have no traction. So he said, I'm going to move my team again to
Ah,
Arizona. And
it didn't
same
help me.
ownership,
It didn't help
same
me. I mean,
ownership. Am I
Uncle,
right? Am I right?
Uncle, if you're a fan of the Cardinals, you got to believe there's absolutely no hope. I'm going to be dead. My grandchildren are going to be dead before the Cardinals win a Super Bowl. Okay? I mean, they're working on their next quarterback change already.
Yeah.
They can't go forward with Murray. I could have told them the midget wasn't going to work out, but they didn't believe that. They thought a midget, 5'9" quarterback can't see over his own O line was the answer. But I mean, that was the Doug Flutie experiment, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Doug Flutie experiment
He
didn't work
made,
out for Doug. It did.
yeah,
It ain't gonna work for it.
he
It
made a
didn't work.
bad mistake. He should be playing shortstop for the Athletics or
I
whatever his.
know it. Well, and this is something that we have to keep in perspective as Raider fans. We've had our day in the sun. We've had some great, great teams. Now, just because the current generation of fans has never seen a win, well, how
Well,
about no
what's
generations have seen a win?
what's never? I mean, I remember
Right.
because I'm old. I remember the Raiders' last Super Bowl win, Super
Yes.
Bowl 18.
I remember exactly
Oh,
where I was, and
I
I live
do.
here in Washington, and I was among Redskins fans. And I'm gonna tell you, it was the best Super Bowl party. They were in shock the entire game. I've never
Yeah.
seen a group of people go catatonic. They had no idea they were going, because remember that year the Redskins were the number one scoring team in the NFL.
Yes.
They were stunned. They only scored 9 points
Yeah.
and was glad to have those, right?
Yeah.
Never got in the end zone. they couldn't believe how badly they were beaten. And neither could Joe Gibbs, by the way. But the whole point is we have seen greatness. I believe we'll see it again, but not until we have
We
another owner.
yeah. Well, we until well, I yes, or here's the offshoot. Until the owner we do have figures out.
I don't think he's in. I just think he has no interest.
No,
He
no,
really
no. Look, see, I
keeps
actually
wanting
no,
to hand the job to somebody else. He
no, no,
keeps
no.
wanting to hand the
Peggy,
responsibility.
Peggy, are you telling me that Mark Davis knows how to run a WNBA club?
He doesn't have an interest in his dad's football team.
But listen to the point though. He lets somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing run, who is probably historically now the best WNBA franchise in history in Las Vegas, Aces, with 3 championships in 4 years. Okay, I don't know who the best team was before that. Maybe the Los Angeles Sparks. Maybe the team up in Connecticut. You know,
He's
with
interested in his WNBA franchise. He's not interested in his dad's franchise.
right. But the point is he found somebody to run that team, and he sits back and looks cool winning championships. Right. He
Because
needs
he
to
found
figure out.
somebody because he's interested. I really think, and remember, we're underestimating how much those Raider insiders have sabotaged what Mark is doing. We're
Well,
still
that we
not
don't know because
don't have a
he,
full
let's face it,
understanding of that. I
Peggy,
believe that there has been sabotage from within.
Peggy
And I
has sources, and I have well, I have people that know people. That
right,
those are my sources, and I get information, and it's usually good. I get information that's usually good, but
too much
we
that's
don't know
going
what's
on.
going on. We don't know what's going on. Even our,
There definitely is something going on inside the Raider organization that has made a failure of everything Marcus tried to do. Everything. And I can't believe that. And I really think I've got to run, but I really think we need a show to talk about this, even though we'd be speculating. But I just can't believe that every time Marcus tried, it's been a failure. And that thing that went on with Gruden, with the NFL, nobody convinced me that that didn't come from inside the Raiders. I will not be convinced it didn't come from anywhere but inside the Raiders. Who would want to get Gruden more?
Now, I'm going to tell you from people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you can hang out for about 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm running out of time because I got to get ready. Go ahead.
But by the way, Peggy's going to a what's the word? Bang ass or bang?
Well, it's an eggnog party. It lasts all night long.
Yeah,
we make sure we give Santa some eggnog, and we continue to party until about 5 or 6 in the morning.
Well, make sure it's not one of the because you're sexy as bug. Make sure it's not one of those key parties like in the.
Okay. Oh no, we just have a good time. I'm a dancing fool, so you know me.
But, damn, I lost my train of with Gruden. I will talk about. We need to. We need
to talk about this because I think I need to hear those counter theories that say no, this is not how it happened.
Yeah,
but I just can't believe that everything Mark has done has been a failure. I mean, and this Pete Carroll disaster, that's off the charts.
Yeah.
No one could have predicted at the beginning of this season that Pete Carroll would win less games than Antonio Pierce. Who would have thought that in a million years? But it happened.
That's why they have to actually lose one more game, because I haven't used the S word all year, and it's not shitty because they have played shitty. But I said I have not used the S word until they are officially a at best 3-win team.
Because I don't even think we're a 3-win. I think it's 2006 season. No, and by the way, a team that we forgot to mention, the Detroit Lions. Lord have mercy, 0-16.
I mentioned the Lions, yeah.
You did. 0-16. At least we don't have that embarrassment. And no Super Bowls. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got a few NFL championships, but no Super Bowls. In the modern era, they have gone 66 years. Nothing.
And they haven't even been to a Super Bowl.
And they have an 0-16 season.
Yeah.
At least we don't have that.
Yeah.
Okay? We're doing bad. All right, guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you, James.
Merry Christmas.
And I hope that we can get a chance to talk about this theory that I have that I need to probably work on a little bit more. But this is what makes me nervous about SpyTech picking the next coach. But I'm also nervous about Pete staying. His son's got to go.
No. And the only way his sons are going, Peggy, is if he goes.
If he goes, correct. I see that. So if it means he has to go, bye-bye. Yeah. His son's got to go. Yeah. All right, guys. See you soon. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay?
Or 2 weeks, or we'll figure. 2 weeks, right. Or we'll figure. But 2 weeks, we'll plan.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks again, Peggy. Love you. Take care. Merry Christmas to you. All right. Yeah, and for those that, like I said, Peggy and I, God, we talk. She is adamant about things, and I'm adamant about things, and she will interject, and I'm gonna talk over her, and she's gonna talk over me. That's just the way it is. Because I tell you what, if you let Peggy go, you're not going to hear me. That's why I got to talk over her. So it's just that, and it's not that she's disrespecting me or I'm disrespecting her. It's just that we have our thoughts, and we're going to make sure they're no. If that turns out, well, I think it's entertaining. So I have not done this for this show a lot. I usually put up the words, and I haven't done the comment. Etta Diaz is here with the family in California. That's Nan. Mike, Shacktown Mike, I said blessings to you after your hip surgery. Jimmy Farrell, great to see you, my man. Good to see you there. Cool Kev was in here. I'm sure there was other people. I'll get to them. I'll get to everybody. It's just going to take a while. Mike had his surgery. Cool Kev in here. I was a Chuck. Yeah. Money Chuck. Yeah. Money Chuck. And thank you for interjecting. I appreciate that. Ern was in here. Okay. Ern. Thank you. Good. Thank you for coming back and being in the comments, sir. I appreciate that. I like Ern. Ern and I are gonna we're gonna talk over each other too. And Avatar, thank you. I got to show this again. Avatar has been with me 15 months down. And Avatar, a fan of an AFC West team that's not the Raiders. And thank you for being there, shipmate. That's nice. Great. How's it going? Yes, how's it going? I think that was right in the middle of one of our arguments. Raider Way was in here. Captain All In are all out. Yeah. And by the way, speaking of All In, I did the game with All In Autumn win. Raider Way does like Spy Tech. And I do agree with Bishop, and Bishop and me get at it. I tell you this, I think that it's not quite like Jerry Springer, but we get combative on this show. You just saw that. And Bishop and I get combative. So it's just I'm gonna blow a gasket one of these days. I hope not on a camera. That would be bad. But right away, thank you for being in here. Bishop was in here. Who else? Oh, yes, CJ. I love CJ, man. By the way, for great boxing analysis, CJ is with, Angelo, Raider Transplant. Great boxing shows. Go in and see that. And he agreed, man, the trenches, man. If we don't do the trenches, we're fucked. Raiders Unleashed. I agree with that. They don't blitz a lot. I don't blitz a lot. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to address this. I know, again, not revealing sources, but I did know somebody that addressed this with Richie Incognito. They said, why don't you become the offensive line coach? And Richie and this person had a conversation, and Richie smartly got rid of the conversation. I'm just going to let it at that. But it was addressed. And Richie said, no. That's not for him. I thought of Richie Incognito, and I also thought of obviously Lincoln Kennedy. And I agree as well with I think we got our guards. I think Caleb Rogers is going to be that guard. And I think JPJ is going to be the other guard. I really do. I think we're set there. That's why I didn't say we need a dress guard. If we do, it'd be like as a developmental pick. We need a tackle. Because I don't know if Glaze is going to be taking over at left tackle or if Grant's going to be taking over at left tackle. But we're going to need a tackle when Miller goes down, and he's going down. So we got Glaze and Grant and Miller. We're going to need another tackle. That's why I said get the tackle in free agency. Thank you for all the positives. Peggy said, he got the list out. Mike McCarthy. The hell you say? But thanks for interjecting that name. No, I would not want Mike McCarthy. Bishop Bishop and I talked about this as well. Mendoza, yeah. If you're getting Mendoza, and Bishop and I had a heated conversation about this. The last show. I think it was the last show. Bishop will tell you. I'll go back to the bottom in a minute. But I said, if you get Mendoza, you better get him some fucking help. You better get him some fucking help. And the Bishop's always talking about the tank. I can't do that. Jack Feste was in here. Thank you, Jack. Again, it took me a while to get us in here. I think I'm getting everybody. Oh, Robert Pena, thank you, sir, for being here as well. Shalom from the Bishop and everybody. And so, yeah, okay, I'm there. So now I'll get back down to the comments I didn't see. Did I? Okay. Merry Christmas, Geomex. Thank you there, sir. The rest of you can KMA. Captain, will it be a disaster if we win the next two games? Because Todd McShay said the quarterbacks are in the 2027 draft. There are better potential. That is true. There are better potential quarterbacks in the draft next year. But if you remember, and we actually spoke about this, we were talking about the Arizona Cardinals, that clusterfuck franchise. They took, was Rosen, quarterback from Miami, I think. The chosen Rosen in the first round 1 year. And then the very next year, they took Kyler Murray. It's been done. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that it's normal, but it has been done. And yes, Anna, I did get your card. I know I saw it. I have to clean. I have to clean the area around the thing, and because God forbid if it doesn't look good for Christmas dinner when the kids come over, actually kid and then the grandkids come over for dinner, and I have things on the counter all over, with can't have a dirty house with the Filipina in charge. But yes, thank you there, Anna, and thank you for being here. And I will say this. I'll show this as well. Anna Diaz, the longest of all of the people that have been here. I love Anna Diaz. Anna Diaz, lots of love from me. Jimmy wants Chris Shula. Okay. Mendoza, we'll see. You better get him some help. Yeah, Raiders drafted 4 quarterbacks in the first round in their career and named them. Okay, well, one of them was Clint Dickey or Eldridge Dickey. Then they had Jamarcus Bustus Russell. They had Tom Marinovich. And I believe the other one was Tom Flores. I think that's true. So it'll be Flores, Dickey, Jabustus, and Marinovich. Am I correct? See, am I correct, Jimmy? You can tell me if I'm right or not. First round quarterbacks. Flores, Eldridge Dickey, Marinovich, Jabustus Russell. I'll wait. I think that's the correct answer. I know 3 of them are correct. I'm not sure if the Tom Flores was the 4th. I think he was. Boy, there's a lag time. Hollywood Raider. Merry Christmas to you, Hollywood. What's good, Hollywood? What's good, Hollywood? Oh, okay. Mark Wilson. Roman Gabriel. Okay, yeah. that makes sense because Roman Gabriel was drafted by the Raiders as well as the Rams, and he took the Rams. That was when they had the draft. But I don't remember Mark Wilson being drafted. Did Mark Wilson out of BYU? Okay, I'll think that. I know I got at least 3 of the 5 because I forgot about Roman Gabriel because Roman Gabriel was actually the first drafted quarterback first round, and he never even played. That's the thing that threw me. So that's 5. Hollywood, thank you. I hope you're having a fantastic Christmas. I had oh my goodness, heartburn. Not because of Hollywood, but I had the pleasure of hanging out with Hollywood and Anna and even Steampunk this past weekend in Houston. Steampunk and I we knock heads, but he's a great guy. Hollywood is a fantastic gentleman, and hopefully, wait, let me do the fingers. Hopefully, you'll be seeing more of Hollywood and myself front row in games next year because I'm probably going to be selling my 2 tickets in Vegas in order to get a 1 with Wood. Head out to church, okay? Feliz Navidad, Ana Diaz. Feliz Navidad. Bendiciones por su familia total. From mi corazón to you and su familia total. Feliz Navidad. And Prospero Años. I can't remember what else was. Prospero Años. That means in great years. I can't remember the rest of it. But good night. Good night to you, Anna. Gracias. De nada. De nada. I said, Ana Diaz, my longest fan. I love Anna, and I hope that I hope you're feeling well. I guess if you're down in California, then you got good news around Thanksgiving. It's been a while. I will be. So no, are you going to be in town? Are you going to be back this weekend? I'll be in Vegas this weekend and next weekend. I'll be with Hollywood next weekend. Next weekend I'll be in town at the same time. I'm not going to be with Hollywood next weekend, but I will be in town at the same time as Hollywood next weekend. But you take care. I'm glad that you're out with the family. I'm very glad you're out with the family. But yeah, good question. Roman Gabriel, the very first quarterback that the Raiders drafted in the first round. Forgot it. He went to the Rams because it was 2 drafts, the AFL draft and the NFL draft, until they went to a mutual draft. And that was when they did the mutual draft when they figured out that they were going to merge. That's when they started doing the mutual drafting. But again, best to you and best to everybody here. Best to everybody. Any free agent offensive linemen this coming up? Yeah, actually, Jimmy, I give you 2. And I got these from the great mind of Raider Fester. And I've spoken about the one, Cody Lindenbaum, something Jewish sounding. I'll probably get hit for that. But it's Cody Lindenbaum, the center from the Baltimore Ravens, and we're gonna have to pay for him. And I say that because either the Ravens don't have a lot of extra money to throw around because they blocked up a lot of different players. So the amount of money that they can throw at him has gotten smaller. He would have to take a discount. I don't think he would. And the Chargers are going to throw money at him. I think we're going to throw money at him. The tackle is a kid by the name of Rasheed Walker. I think Rasheed Walker is that guy. I don't know a lot about other than I tell you what, Fester does knowledge, Fester does book work, Fester does studies. I don't have a lot of that available, but Fester does that. Who was quarterback you said went to another team in the draft? Roman Gabriel, Jimmy Farrell. Roman Gabriel was drafted by the Rams and he was drafted by the Raiders. He was drafted by the Raiders in the AFL. He was drafted by the Rams in the NFL because the draft wasn't combined at the time. And he took the Rams off. That was it. And yeah, Mark Wilson, I forgot, was Mark Wilson out of Brigham Young had all of the potential, and it was right after the Stabler era. It was right after the Plunkett coming in era. Yeah, Mark Wilson was denigrated, and it's unfair. It's unfair, but Mark Wilson was denigrated. It's unfair. We are. I said another name. Yes, hang on. Wait. For all folks that were wondering, yes, I muted my microphone. I was having a conversation off. Yeah, I know we can't hear you. Hollywood, you know who the hell I was talking to. I've been reminded. I was reminded that we are going to eat. We have leftovers to eat tonight, and that we need to pray tonight. So I was told in no uncertain terms that that was going to happen. I said, yes, but I'm still full. I bought a calzone today, and I'm still, that's what the burps are from the calzone. So yeah, that's why I said I don't want to eat right now. I maybe at 9:30 p.m., maybe in a half an hour. So if you would like to come in and talk about what you want to talk about for Christmas, I'm putting this up. So come in and spread some Christmas cheer. Come into the show. Come into the show. Richie Riche, good evening to you. Merry Christmas to you, Richie Riche. There's the okay. I'm sure that's a Merry Christmas to you, John. I'm just gonna say that. What do we have in? We have leftovers from Texas Roadhouse, steak and some ribs, some chicken, and some other. So yeah, there's. Well, I mean, that's why I don't want to eat it right now. I actually want to eat it later in the evening. Okay, 1 second. In fact, I'm going to mute the mic again. So maybe I said push it to 10. I'm not hungry. Not hungry. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Sacktown says Richie as well. Yeah, that's what it's going to be: steak and ribs and chicken left over from Texas Roadhouse from yesterday. And yeah, and obviously he gives it right back. I put the link up. If you want to come into the show, you want to give some Christmas cheer for a while, come on in. Come on in. I mean, right now, and this is something that I will be doing, because if we get the first pick or not, we're going to be picking top 5 at worst. We're picking top 5. I'm actually going to be paying close attention paying close attention to the playoffs in college football. Cornish hens. Oh, the lady of the house. Good for you, Richie Richie. Good for you, sir. The lady of the house up there in frigid Canada, where Richie Richie walks around in Canada, in frigid Canada, in shorts and a t-shirt outside because it's balmy weather. Giving you props, sir. Giving you props. Not many people can pop around in frigid Canada, walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. Boots, yes, because then you got to have boots for the snow. Rosetown, good to see you as well. This is I like the fact I might have to go on later too. I might have to like do this broadcast and then eat and then go pray and maybe go back maybe like in technically on Christmas and do another show. And I like this. Jimmy Farrell. You're thinking what I was saying. I said the people that we need to get, and what I identified the fact that it was a cornerback was one, an offensive tackle was another, safety. Yeah, that's we do need that, but I think that Lonnie Johnson's going to be a holdover for a season or two. I think he's going to be a holdover for a season or two. And maybe that's what safety is another thing that maybe we get in free agency. I mean, Chin, man. But it was, I tell you what. I wish I had the trumpets. The trumpets, because this is a trumpet moment. I'm bringing in my boy. In fact, I'm even gonna move you over so that the words are on me so that they can see you. And I'm gonna get rid of this so there's more picture to see. I had a wife, sir, rolling around. A wife. Ricky Richey rolling around and what's the temperature, Rich?
It's about 9 degrees here.
10? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're locked up a bit because you're away from the Wi-Fi around the house. But Merry Christmas to you, sir. Hopefully you heard me.
Sorry, it's about 29 degrees here right now.
Oh, 29. Oh, that's balmy. That's summer weather. That's summer weather.
That's why I'm wearing a white beater walking around outside.
Are you wearing the shorts too?
No, I got jeans on today.
Okay, so you got white beater and the jeans, and you got boots because there are you need to have boots up there so you don't slip and
fall.
No,
I'm wearing running shoes, my man. I'm wearing running shoes. It's not deep enough snow.
Okay. So Richie, first off,
here's the snow. So we got quite a bit of it here.
Yeah, and Rich, for those who don't know, I know you're in Canada. Where exactly are you in Canada?
I am about 2.5 to 3 hours north of Toronto.
Okay, but that's mid Canada, middle Canada.
I'm deemed Central Ontario. So in terms of provinces are our version of states.
Right.
So I'm in Central Ontario, which is not quite deemed Northern Ontario, but it's basically you go about an hour north of where I am, and you're in there are definitely like a 50 to 1 relationship between people and moose. So
yeah, and the moose are on the 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jimmy Farrell said that it's not a wife beater; they're called tank tops.
Sure, they are. Yeah.
Well, first off, and again, I say it again, Merry Christmas to you in
you as well.
in the just the balmy 29-degree weather up in central Ontario.
Yeah. So this is the Christmas lights I threw up there the other day. Got I got that all sorted out. So yeah, we've had several feet of snow already here, and expecting another few feet over the next couple days. So
well, and the other thing I want to get out is this is not to mock you because you got your ass kicked last Sunday. This is not to mock you. I wanted to congratulate, and I am correct in saying that the Broncos were going to win the AFC West this past year. I was spot on that. I was spot on.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised myself to see how well we've done overall.
I tell you, you're freezing at the, and no pun intended on the freezing, but you're freezing.
No, do you know what it is? I'm close enough to the house. My Wi-Fi is kicking in and out, so it's like capturing by my phone and then not. But basically, I didn't expect a 12 to 14 win season, depending where we land. I expected something more like a 10 to 11 win season. I did think we were going to do a hair better than last year, but not by much. Although the one thing we have done this year, which we have not done in years past, is we won those close games, right? We won the games where we were like within a score or two kind of down, and we actually came back and won by, whether it be 3 to 4 or 5 points. And we've done that this year, which is, it really does show how important coaching and drafting players is, getting the right mentality on your team, getting the right mindset and that sort of thing, right? So that's a Sean Payton thing and a George Payton thing, actually, to his credit as well. So, hey, Cool Kev, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you as well, my man. A lot of fans of the Wild Wild West and a lot of folks that know you kind of also know me. So, hope everyone has a safe and happy Christmas tomorrow. For those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, you're well, at least one of the other major holidays is coming up as well in the Jewish faith. So, hope everything goes well.
Actually, and I was wrong because yes, I am Judeo-Christian. I got my menorah last night because but Hanukkah's done.
No, I know it's done, but it's come and gone. It's within the last little bit, right?
Yeah, it was within like a week. Yes.
Yeah. So it's one of those important holidays. A lot of people kind of forget that there's a few different religions and whatnot that are all within like a little block of time there. And so, anyways, I just wanted to hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays with you and your family and all that good stuff. And then we'll have a good day tomorrow. Hopefully the Broncos beat the KC Chiefs. I think that's something that at least your fans and mine can all agree on. So let's just
we agree on that.
Yeah.
Let the Kansas City be shittier, but actually technically, if you are a Raider fan, we don't want the Chiefs to be as shitty because we want to knock them down in the draft order. So,
in a personal thing for you, you kind of want them to win so that they're kind of not as bad. So therefore, they have like a slightly better draft pick just to really screw them over. That would be kind of your personal preference, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be an interesting game. I expect to see Alex Forsyth playing at center for my Denver Broncos. He's been the guy that you probably heard me a few times tout that I want to be our center, and because I really hate, hate is a strong word, but it's certainly getting close to where I feel about about Wattenberg. I call him Whatabagle, but he's. I really don't like him. I think he's an awful center. I think he is. He just isn't well rounded enough as a player for me to be a starting center at the NFL level.
But he's not a free agent by any chance, or is?
No, the Denver Broncos decided to extend him, which is just like, I don't know,
good.
Somewhere between dumb as a post and just like retarded, short but stupid.
I mean, because the only reason why I asked that because if the rate, because I was talking on Coach's show last night, and I was talking about we're all talking about Cody Lindabaum, whatever that
Yes.
kid
Yes.
name is.
Yeah.
We all want him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want. If you guys need a center, at least you guys got your center. It's just not that Whataburger guy. So
Yes.
you're a good center. I don't want us to be, tripling the market because he's going to get some bang.
He will. The thing is that so many people and so many teams undervalue the center position in the offensive line. It is, in my opinion, it's actually the third most valuable position on the offensive line. The first is the the left tackle. The second is the right tackle, and then the third most is the center. You can get away with a mediocre center, but you cannot get away with a bad center. And so I think it's super important that that the teams that want to do well get that guy that can kind of command the offensive line. You need that offensive center position. In fact, you need to look no further than Coach's Chargers as an example, to see what happens when you lose an all-world center that they had a couple years ago, and the dude ended up with a free medical issue, had to retire from the NFL outright, and the team has not looked the same since on the offensive line, despite having two all-world tackles on the left and the right side. That the offensive center position is that important. It is that critical to a team. So I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize.
Right. I agree with that. And that's why I said I want the least competition because and Peggy and I were talking about, well, who the hell would want to come here? And I said, Peggy, the Raiders are so bad, we're going to have to overpay. Just like we overpaid, but we had 10 years ago, we had one of the best offensive lines in football because we paid for them. We had Osemele, we had Rodney Hudson, we had Donald Penn. Okay?
Osemele was amazing, by the way. He was legitimate. That dude was a beast. Yeah. But I think what you guys need to first figure out is, I think you did yourself a slight disservice by not firing your head coach if you were going to, which is making me head scratch whether or not you intend to. But anyways, the point is that if you fired your head coach earlier after you kind of didn't do well, you could have already started with your head coaching search in terms of identifying what you want. Then in addition to that, what's also very important with that is you want to solidify your head coaching search to a point where they can then have the pick of the market to bring in the proper offensive coordinator that they want for their team.
Yeah.
That brings it.
But I think, and this is why Peggy and I we had a big time. We were, just regular Peggy and Jack arguing today. And it was, and I was saying, with Pete, we got to get rid of Pete. And, if you have a trash product, you get rid of it. But I think personally, I think that the reason why he's not gone already is because they want to let him retire for the appearances. It's better than having a coach that is marketable as being, I'm not sure if he's Hall of Fame, but he's close to Hall of Fame. You don't want to fire a close to Hall of Fame or a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, here's an unpopular opinion, though. I don't think he's going to.
What, retire?
No, I think he's going to force you to fire him because from a legal standpoint, from a dollars and cents perspective, he wants you to try to basically fire him. Now, unless the Raiders have come to an agreement with him behind the scenes,
and I think that's
one of these sorts of things, then that's fine. Then he can retire and kind of walk away gracefully and all those sorts of things. And I think that's fair and good. But if the Raiders organization has not done that and they have not approached him and they have not come to terms, so to speak, with Pete Carroll to say, look, dude, we're going to have you retire. You're going to walk off into the sunset gracefully. Here's what your severance package is going to be. Let's go in that direction. If you guys have not done that, then honestly, if I'm Pete Carroll, I'm saying, no. You're going to make the hard decision and you're going to try to fire me outright because I want all my money. I want all the stuff you're supposed to give me because that's what my contract says. Yeah. And if you're going to walk away, then I'm going to force you to walk away. And more importantly, I'm going to force you to walk away because I know it's going to hurt you as an organization. Anyways,
And
I gotta head out because I gotta get stuff sorted out. Okay.
Well,
So thank you.
hats off to you and the family, brother, and thank you for coming in.
All right, bye for now.
Merry Christmas to you, brother.
You too. Bye for now.
All right, that's Richie Riche of the Wild Wild West and the the MHR Mile High Roundtable. I want to get it right. MHRT Mile High Roundtable Network. Mundungus Creevy is the guy who runs that. The great Mundungus Creevy. Love the name. Nothing out firing a legacy head coach unless he forces it. It's not a money. Well, I mean, it kind of is a money thing because we're over. How many coaches are we paying? Not the coach here. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Now, unless I am forced to, and I'm trying to bring this up to 10 o'clock. I'm trying to be one. Okay. Well, apparently Navman says we're only paying one. Well, it ain't AP. It's not Gruden. Who is it? Oh, McDaniels, right? Yeah, it's probably Josh McDaniels. If you want to come in here, oh, Chip, no. Okay, yeah, Chip, but is it okay? Yeah, Chip Kelly, we're gonna owe. And again, if you want to come in, there's the link. There's a Mark got $1 billion. I'm sure he's doing monthly payments. Yeah, but why pay for shit? Oh, McDaniels, thank you for that. McDaniels was bought out. Thank you, Nav. I don't keep up on this shit. I don't. And I'm glad you told me because people say, like, yeah, you still got to pay Gruden and we're still paying this. Thank you. If your sourcing is good. And I don't think that my shipmate, notice I threw that shipmate in there, a shipmate Navman, Bob, B-O-B Bob, would fuck me on information. So we're paying Chip Kelly. And I guess technically we're still paying, our special teams coach, whatever fucking money he's worth. But yeah, so it's Chip Kelly. Yeah, we owe him. But I think, honestly, oh my God, if you have to, if you tell Pete, we'll give you half or maybe even 2/3 of the money. Right? We'll give you 2/3 of your contract. Julie, thank you, brother. Thank you. Oh, and we have a visitor on a night that he is really, really busy. And I appreciate him taking time out to be with us here on the show. None other than Santa Claus. Santa, what happened to your beard? I mean, does it magically grow when you go back on your sleigh at the end of the night?
Deer ticks.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I do. But Merry Christmas to you as well, sir.
Merry Christmas, brother. Got the giraffe ears on though. Waiting for my neck to grow over the next 12 hours or so.
I'm here doing the show, and I was reminded by somebody in the other room that we got to eat. I'm like, I'm not hungry yet. I mean, I had a big cat. Well, I didn't eat the whole calzone, but I had 2 big pieces of the middle portion of a great calzone. I'm like, I'm not hungry yet. So, but I will eat leftover. And then I got to pray. We got to pray. We will sit down and we'll get the candles out and we'll turn on the Vatican like around 11:30. I think 11:30. And we'll watch the Vatican and we'll do all of the Aminos, Dominos, Mininos, Maninos, with that for the Catholic thing. And I will do that. What? Yeah.
Very, very Merry Christmas. Just got that tonight from my daughters. So that was
nice.
So we do on Christmas Eve, we do pajama night. So It's we buy each other pajamas, so maybe that's kind of normal now, like a thing. But we've been doing it since they were babies. So and they're
Well, no,
31 and 33.
That's a nice tradition thing. That's a nice tradition thing. That's something you look forward to. That's something you look forward to.
No doubt. So Cool Kev said, what was the buyout price? I'm not going to be exact on that, but I'm pretty sure the Raiders were on the hook for 21 of 37.5 million
for McDaniels.
So I'm pretty sure for McDaniels to be fired essentially, but the reality of it was it was a buyout rather than a firing, even though that's what was said. So
right, and it's the semantics that are important, though. It's the semantics.
That means that the next team that he goes to, the Patriots, were on the hook for, I don't know, 16 or some change million for that, because otherwise we could have brought him back under that whole idea as well.
Right, I gave Josh McDaniels props last night. Okay, I said Josh McDaniels as the OC is fantastic. My Commando, I'm not going to.
That would be that'd be a bad Christmas Eve if you're doing it in tradition of me, the wife, and the kids. Now, just me and the wife, Commando jammies, all about it, bro. All about it.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not really cold here in Florida, so there's no shrinkage. So you can walk around in commando jammies and not have to worry about shrinkage because it's not cold. Up there where you're at, you need jammies with a little insulation. You're wearing thermals, I bet, right?
No, actually, this is a little bit warm right now for this long sleeve jammy shirt.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, it's close to 70 right now on Christmas Eve in Eastern Tennessee. So,
because it's 80 something down here. It's 80s. It's 80s.
Well, imagine that.
Yeah, fucking Florida. What do you think? Hey, I do got to ask though as well, because you missed the discussion that Peggy. When we say you missed the very volatile argument that
can imagine
that Peggy and I have. You know, it's just the way it is. And one of the guys, and I didn't. It was like Chuck, and I got to figure out where Chuck. I don't know who Chuck is, or
Money Chuck.
Yeah, Money Chuck. Yes,
okay.
He's one of you, right?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, and
right.
And the thing about it with him is that usually he's right, and when people try to tell him, no, that's bullshit, he's like, no, he'll call you everything left, right, north, and south.
Yeah.
But chances are when he does come out with something and somebody tries to tell him he's wrong, most times I'll look into it and go, damn, he was right.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean? So
Chuck just made the comment because we were talking or arguing and talking over each other. Now, I actually won that only because I do have an authoritative talk over voice. And Chuck was saying, and I'm not saying it was bad, but I didn't put the comment up, but Peggy commented on it. And Chuck was like, I seen this lady. She's very, she interrupts and doesn't let people talk in and so I didn't highlight it, but Peggy saw it and Peggy addressed it and said, oh, so a woman isn't allowed to, interject, and I was not getting in on that conversation. Not at all.
That's not what he said, right? He just said, I've seen this lady.
Yes.
She likes to interrupt. He was telling the truth because she does.
She does. But
much as I love her,
I do that. And she does. But that's our thing is that she talks loud and I talk loud and she interrupts and I'll interrupt her. And that's why I think Peggy, so she does, but she's very strong willed. So that's just the way that is.
So what was the argument about?
I don't even remember. It was about Spytech. It was about, Pete Carroll running roughshod over people and Spytech being spineless. And I said, I don't think he has had the authority to do things. I don't, because the way that the hierarchy is, he's not over anybody other than, maybe some of the people on the lower, like the team position thing, but he's not he's not over anybody. And I said, I think that will change if and when Pete is shown the door, that they will actually said, you are going to do the job of a GM. And I want to see that, because if it doesn't happen, we're going to be fucked. We're going to be fucked for another 3 years. Screaming Peggy and Jack Bayless. Oh, is that like a was it who's Skip Bayless comment?
Skip
Screaming
Bayless,
Peggy.
Jack Bayless. That's funny.
I never.
that shit.
I mean, I never watched. I never watched.
Kev.
I never
Love
watched.
it, Kev.
Good comment though.
Hey,
Good comment.
It was Skip Bayless and Stephen A. The worst freaking ESPN show that's ever on was called. Yeah. It was called Cold Pizza. I believe it was.
Okay.
Wasn't it Cold Pizza?
Yeah, I know what they did. I know that they were on a show together. I know that Skip and I did see. I say it correctly. A. Stephen Smith.
I just
no. You get where I'm going.
Yeah, just the
yeah. A. Stephen Smith. So it spells ass, because I think Stephen Smith is an ass. By the way he treated Molly.
Stupid ass. SA works for me. Stupid ass.
It was Cold Pizza. But the thing is that he shit over Molly Karam, and I like Molly Karam. And she got fucked in more ways than one, because of Stephen A.
But allegedly.
I I'd love to have been on that menage. But anyway. But she's got brains, and she brings a lot to the show. And Stephen A. or A. Stephen wouldn't let her shine, and that's the reason why she's not there anymore.
Yeah,
I love Molly's antennas, definitely. I love Molly's antennas. I love everything about Molly.
I mean, the headlights were amazing. The headlights were great.
Yeah, and I miss her already. I don't watch ESPN, although I am watching.
I think she was a celebrity like model long before ESPN was ever a thing. I don't think for her that wasn't a money loss at all leaving that. So
yeah, well, she's made her name. Bob, good to see you. Bob Standard's in there talking with Bob, so it's the Bob and Bob show.
Bob, how you doing?
If it'll come up, that's it. Good to see Bob as well. But what we were arguing about was the whole dysfunction of the Raider organization this year. And I told her, or I screamed at her. I said, "Listen, why are you saying that we need a wide receiver when we need to have Besh and Thornton employed better? And we need to why we need to have two defensive tackles, like when we have Peggy and Hemingway, and they can come in and do things, and they were not given the opportunity. And that's why I said it's not Spytech's fault because he got them for us. It's Pete's fault because Pete's a fucking asshole, and that was my point.
I don't know what part to argue there. I don't think there's a right and wrong answer, because to be perfectly honest with you, by the information we've gotten throughout this organization this entire year is nothing. We don't know who runs what, when, and where. We really don't. To be honest with you, I could have settled that argument with that one thing right there. None of us know.
We don't know.
We've not.
Yeah.
Even insiders are lost. Freaking the ones that aren't lost are not allowed to say shit. From what I'm gathering.
Yes. And AK, good to see you as well, brother. Merry Christmas to you, my buddy AK. Go ahead, Bob.
It makes sense to me to have an argument one way or the other with that. Who's in charge? Who's not? Where's the Where's the tomfuckery at? Where is all the bullshit and all that stuff, right? But the reality is, we look all the way back to the moment Pete Carroll was hired. It's been nothing but fucking crickets this entire year. I haven't heard shit from the players either.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, but nothing even on social media from any of them. It's almost like they all have a freaking NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement or something. Everyone had to sign a piece of paper at the beginning of the year not to say shit.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of NDAs out there. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying the whole fucking team, because we haven't heard anything, Jack, this entire year. There's been nothing to indicate who's in charge of what, to be perfectly honest with you. And secondly, to be perfectly honest with you, the right questions have not been asked in a public setting.
Oh, that because the guys that are supposed to be doing that are they're buffoons, and they are under the auspices of you will not ask the hard questions. It's a softball game. It's a softball game.
Right. But that's an argument I could have solved the moment you two started to have it. I'm like, hey, we don't know. We really, you guys tell me, go back to one single inside story or anything that the Raiders themselves came out and said that gave us any indication who's in charge of what.
Well, that was the other thing and I will say that she upset me on this one, is that being an intel guy, I said, I have sources that are reliable source. And she goes, well, who are they? I said, I'm not going to fucking tell you, Peggy. That's why they're called sources. You can't.
Right.
You can't. But they're people that know on various things, and you don't burn a source, because if you burn a source, A, you don't hear anything from them anymore, and B, if it was in the real world, in the intel world, they'd be fucking dead. That's why you don't burn a source. And she was saying, trying to get all of these things. I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you, because I'm not. But anyway, they are reliable, and I agree with the people, because I know this guy who knows this guy who knows this.
Yeah.
And it's reliable, because the first guy that I know that told me this, I knows his shit. And he has that guy that knows. That's right. The chain of this. And I will agree with that chain. So we don't know, but it's not bullshit. But I said that my estimation, I think, and by the way, yes, everybody that's coming in on Bob's channel, thank you for that. I didn't see Bowers and Chin. When did I miss that? Bowers and Chin are out. Did they finally just put them on the clock and said, "Hey, you guys are done"? I didn't see that. Bowers, I would agree with. I mean,
Bowers has been reported as put on IR. I didn't hear about Chin. They put Bowers on IR because that knee has just not gotten any better after.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree with that. There's no reason to trot him out here for a couple more games. There's no reason.
I didn't know that Chen. I was up with the family and all that stuff, and wife's getting ready to snooze and shit like that, so I came back down. But I did not see that. I did not get that. But now that I'm looking on IG, now I see. So,
well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I didn't know about it, and thank you for the information. I don't know everything.
Yeah, thanks.
That's why I rely on you guys to tell me.
We count on you guys. When you guys may see stuff we don't see, because I mean, when we're building content, we're like immune to like up to the moment shit for the most part.
Yeah,
it's a process. Right?
I don't build content. I go to medical appointments. That's what I do during the day.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Yes,
but it's kind of like as we're building the studio and we're setting up a live show or whatever happens in that 30 minutes prior and 30 minutes after work, we have no idea, because we're kind of
oblivious. Yes. That's the right word. So, Bob, I will say this. Yeah, I gotta ask. And people ask me, and I said, hey, I mean, now that we are this close to having the number one pick, okay,
right.
I will say this, and I mean this. I am not of a mind to tank. I've never been in a mind to tank. But if it just so happens that we lose, I'm not going to be upset. What I want to see is games that are competitive. Okay, I want to see the Raiders play the Giants competitively. Okay, that's what I want to see. And against Kansas City, they're tanking their ass off right now, having Chris Oladokin out there and nobody else.
Well, not
they're up
and they're not
too.
But it's not on purpose, though. I mean, who would have thunk 2 ACLs in 2 weeks? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
Between him and Minshew, I mean, damn, I don't think they necessarily meant to, but now they're to the point where it's like, we're not going to freaking spend money on getting a freaking. There ain't no reason to do that. We're not gonna. Let's just play out what we got. Let's see what we have, and I think that's what we should do. Let's see what we got.
The players that have not played that we need to get some fucking film on. It's the preseason for 2026. It's the fucking season. I agree.
Well, my thought process is this: Bowers being out. The thing about it is, you may as well not even think about giving Genty the ball 30 times. Let's not do that. If that's the case, because Bowers is what takes. He's the only thing that takes any surprise away from the running game. You know what I'm saying? You got to know where Bowers is, right?
Thanks, Mark.
And then Colton Miller's healthy. Colton Miller's healthy, and he's actually called a starter. Why?
Right. So
don't play
him. Yeah, why play him? There's no. Colton, thanks for positive trying to say I can play. Why? Don't play. I don't like I said. I don't.
Looks like
the Raiders
Shedrick.
Through. Go ahead, sir.
Looks like Shedrick Jackson's getting his first start.
Good.
Shedrick Jackson's getting his first start.
Good, and I want to see that.
Let's see. This is all Spotrac stuff, so it's kind of I'm dragging down new starters for this week based on freaking
here's what I want to see.
Seasons. 4-win team.
Why not play Kenny Pickett? Because we know. Why not? Why not play AOC 12?
I'd rather AOC not get his ass handed to him for no damn good reason. If he's not absolutely 100%. So the only reason that Kenny Pickett played in front of him is because he wasn't 100% 2 weeks ago. So it's I don't need that young kid is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the freaking league. I don't need him going out there getting freaking just beat up for no reason. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, I got a question then. So is AOC 12 our backup next year?
I don't. It's one of those where we got to see where the coaching goes. We got to. All this stuff's going to happen. I think a week after the end of our season, not the end of the NFL season, obviously.
Right, our season. Right.
That first week afterwards, you're going to be busy. There's no question. Now, all the playoff team coaches there's a tamper rule on them. You can't contact them. You can't fuck with them if they're in the playoffs.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, there is a tamper rule. I don't know the specifics of it, but I know you can't. I don't know if it's coordinators or head coaches or both. Pretty sure it's both. But the thing about it is that at least at that week, we'll find out about Pete. We're going to find out about most of the coaching staff, whether it's going to be a clean sweep or what's going on there. And then we can really start thinking about what comes next. You know.
Okay.
So,
I want to tell you, or I want to offer up something. By the way,
okay.
Raider Homer is alive and well. Raider Homer is alive and well because I heard from him on the phone the other night. He is alive and well. And he said something to me which I hadn't really thought about. He says that he would turn over the head coaching duties to Patrick Graham, because he's been here, he knows the players, he knows the system, he knows all the things, and he's been a soldier through it all. And I'm like, you are correct. He's gotten through all of the bullshit. He was supposed to be the coach for the Jaguars this year until Liam Cohen and their organization did him wrong. And I mean that. He was going to be the coach of the Jaguars this year. And at the very last minute, they fucking usurped that from him and gave it to Liam Cohen, which had also pissed off the Bucs, right? So Patrick Graham has done enough, okay, to at least put in to say, I want to be the head coach. What are your thoughts on that? And again, I just wanted to gauge your opinion on that. And everybody that's out there that's heard me, again, this was put forward by Raider Homer. And I'm like, I can't disagree with that. And then his second portion was get a up and coming offensive guy from the college ranks to be your offensive coordinator and run with that staff. You get an up and coming offensive guy from the college ranks, bring him up to the pros to be your OC, and then run with Patrick Graham and build out the staff that way. And I'm pretty sure under the tutelage of John Spytek, I'm pretty sure that's where we were going with that. Okay. Yeah, Kev, it's not Graham as the defensive guy, because remember, he would have head coaching responsibilities. He would have to find somebody to run the defense. That was what Homer put out. I just wanted to, pick your brains on that. I didn't even get a chance to talk to Peggy about that because we were arguing about other shit. So
it was a long argument that amounted to nothing. On that one.
Yes, I agree.
And so when it comes to PG, here's what it's going to come down to. We do not know the front office's ideology on the path forward. We've never known that. It's never been said. It's never been out loud said, right? If their ideology is we're full out rebuilding, if it isn't Max, Mayer, Miller as our pillars of folks that are not rookies, right? Then PG's nowhere to be found after this year. He ends up maybe being a head coach somewhere else in the NFL.
He will be, I'm sure.
I've never been a proponent of a DC in an organization promoted to head coach based on the fact that the head coach in front of him was removed or retired or whatever. It hasn't ever seemed to work. And the thing is, PG hasn't shown any of us that he has a way to inspire the whole team or influence the team to work in a certain direction. What it seemed after last week was I looked at that defense. I'm like, wait, this isn't a cover three. We're actually playing some man-to-man. Oh, wait, that's a 4-3. Oh, shit, that's a freaking cover zero. That's a full-out freaking wide-up blitz. We hadn't seen that all year. And it makes me wonder if he's just been held down there. But the thing about it is that's another thing. If I were an owner to hire a head coach, if I looked at this whole situation, my question to him would be, where were you when the head coach was failing? How are you helping the head coach? Were you trying to make him better? Trying to say, hey, coach, I don't think that's right. I think we should do this. Hey, what were you doing? And that's a hard question to ask someone and hard for them to give the right answer to. So we just don't know if you just can't do it.
Yeah, well, that's a good question, but I'm going to say one thing on the we don't know aspect. We don't know. We don't know whether
he could be our head coach next year.
Right. Well, no, we don't know if he said, "Hey, where were you?" And he was like, "I was told I just to shut the fuck up and take my paychecks."
Yeah. Here's your coloring book. Go color, make defense.
Yeah.
And then you give me the defense and I'll tell you if it's okay. That,
Yeah.
and if he was that
Especially,
guy, and if he
yeah.
was that guy, and if he was that guy as an owner, I'd be like, okay, we'll give you a call after we interview 5 more people because that's a no for me. If you're willing to freaking play that, and just bow down to it, knowing it's a fail, then I don't want a part of you as my head coach.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to throw some Navy at you, brother. I'm
No,
going to throw
again,
some
we don't
Navy
know.
at you.
Now, remember, I disclaimered at first that we don't know we have no idea on
Right.
who's in charge of it. So,
But and what, because I hear what you're saying, but we don't know. But and for those that I'm going to bring everybody into conversations, both Bob and I are members of the Chiefs Mess of the Navy. Okay, and in the Chiefs Mess, we run the ship. I don't give a fuck who says otherwise. We run the ship, but we run the ship under the orders of the guy that's on top of the totem pole of the ship.
the commanding officer, or in our case, that's Mark Davis.
Right. And whatever he says, because he's our boss, it could be the most fucked up thing, but because he's our boss and we can give a bunch of ideas that could help him out and make things better and prove to him, hey, boss, why don't you do this? And I think it would be better for the ship and the team and the fans and everything else. And, Mark could say, I appreciate the input. I don't fucking care. I want you to do it this way. And
Right.
members of the staff or the Chiefs Mess or of the coaching staff have to implement what the boss's orders are and have
As
to
it comes
smile.
down from him.
And we have to smile and we have to say, this is what we will be doing. But Chief, this is what we'll be doing. And you have to implement that. So that's why I said, we don't know the inner workings of what was said behind the scenes.
So being put in that context, Mark Davis, commanding officer, executive officer, is freaking John Spytek. Brady and all them are up there with freaking Mark Davis and their little freaking thing going on. And then the head coach is the master chief, command master chief, right? And it's all getting funneled down from there, and it goes down to all the coordinators / chiefs, right?
Yeah, in a real organization, but in our organization, Spytek works for Pete Carroll.
That's seems like that was kind of if you look at the way things worked, it seemed like once the draft was over, Spytek's job was done.
Yeah.
It really did. But in your context, though, so brings it down to these freaking divisions from that. And we all know that this is the freaking big man's freaking call, no matter what the call is, right? And as good leaders, we respect it and we take it to our defense or you know what I mean, in each division. And we say, look, here's the vision, here's what we're looking to do. However, I see one key flaw in it, and I did mention it to him. I said I would do my best to keep that low, as far as how this is. I will not allow you to do this, and this, and this to protect yourself. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Still laying in the vision of the big man, but taking care of my people at the same time.
I got you.
You see what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
So it's
now. I was going to say, folks, you got about 14 minutes if you want to come in and talk with Nav Man or Santa, I should say. You got about 14 minutes to come in and talk with Santa and myself, because I'm gonna be shutting it off. I'm gonna be shutting it off at 10 o'clock Eastern time because I gotta eat and I gotta pray. Yeah, was it Eat, Love,
Yep.
Pray? What? That's a movie, right? Eat, Love, Pray.
You just do them. There's no order.
Yeah,
Just do all of them. There's no order.
yeah. But I got to do that. But I tell you one thing I do like is that I've had a lengthy discussion. Yes, CJ, thank you. And I wanted to make sure that CJ gave me a $2 super chat, and I will say this. And I know I've said it for about a year now. When I get time, I'm going to do those giveaways. So the CJ has gotten the most. I said for every $5, you get a ticket to the wheel. So I know that CJ has gotten at least one ticket because he's had at least two and twos. That makes at least one ticket to the wheel. I'm gonna get the wheel done. Either I die or I will eventually do that. I will do a giveaway one of these days because I appreciate that. And I thank you, CJ, for your super chat. But thank you for being here, sir. Yeah, and again, CJ Rich Boxing and BS with Angelo. The boxing information that you need to know on YouTube, make sure you go there. Having said that, if you want to come in, please come in about the next 12 minutes because I'm going to go eat my leftovers and I'm going to go pray. Yeah. And I haven't heard from Angelo, but hopefully, actually, I hit him up the other day and he was busy. So I actually got to get back. I got to do all my Christmas texts. I haven't done that yet. So, Bob, I'm not going to send you a Christmas text. I'm just saying happy holidays.
I just sent you one. I sent you one though.
Oh. You bastard. So Bob gets a thank you, and Merry Christmas to you. Bob gets a ticket on the wheel. Actually, your $50 one gives you 10. It was 50 or was it 100?
Oh, before
the big time before when you did this it was either 50 or 100. I know it was good. I know it was,
that was 50. Pretty sure.
Yeah. So that gives you 10 spots on the wheel.
Okay.
But I'll have to break it up. But I think I'll probably break it up the guys that have multiples so that you're in more wheels. Or you can tell me, no, I want them all on one wheel so I have a bigger, better chance of getting something on that wheel. But you could have, and this is what I'm saying, kind of like the old movie, The Jerk. You could have everything between the thimble and the rubber eraser. It's like on my thing. But one of the wheels might be better. Go ahead, sir.
So how many do I have on the wheel total?
Now the ones that I know of, because you have done a couple, you have a $50 one and a $5 one, and you've done other things before. Yes, God Family Raiders. Yes, you have 10 spots because he gave me $50. So when I do these, I have to figure it out though. I do have to figure it out. I got to get off my ass and do it.
So in the true spirit of Christmas, for me, G-Fam, do what you need to do, man. But I'm going to look up this chat, and I'm going to give you some names. You ready to write them down? And you can deduct that from my amount of entries, okay? The names that I put on.
Okay.
They go on the wheel instead of me.
Oh, I see. You're donating your numbers. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, I just want maybe a couple on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give away 8 of whatever. Just go ahead and write down. I'm going to give away 8 of whatever I have.
Okay, so now. I got to write. See, this is my scratch pieces of paper. It's an insert for my hat, and I got to.
Yeah.
So I have to do this shit. Okay, go ahead, brother. What am I doing?
All right, Cool Kev's getting one of them for sure.
Kev gets one. Okay.
And Bob gets two.
Absolutely, Angelo for sure.
Angelo. Okay.
CJ Rich, right? That's Angelo.
No. CJ Rich and Angelo, who is Raider transplant,
Oh,
two
okay,
different people. So
got you. So
So-
so that's two of them then. One for Angelo, one for CJ.
okay, one for CJ, one for Angelo. Okay, there you go.
All right, Willie Wayne
Willie Wayne.
and 401 Raider Jeff for sure.
401 Jeff. Okay, so those you're doing 1 and 1 on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's 7.
Wait, 401 Raider Jeff's the same guy.
No, yeah, 401 Raider Jeff is 1. Willie Wayne is 1. CJ is 1. Angelo, aka Transplant, is 1. Kevin, Cool Kev is 1, and you got 2. So I did actually do them correctly.
Okay, so 2 more, right?
That
way,
yes. No,
I know I have
3 more.
I know I have 10 total. So
Yeah.
I'll do all but one of them. So 2 more. All right.
No, you have
Alec.
10. You have the 10 on the $50 one, plus you just got one for 5, so you actually have 11, if not another.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do 2 more.
Okay.
One of them's got to be Sacktown Raider Mike.
Sack Mike, got it.
The other's got to be Alec M.
Alec M. Okay, I think you have one more, sir.
Okay, Marcus Banks.
Okay,
I would give it to David, but he's a fucking Eagles fan, and I ain't fucking doing.
Okay. So let me see. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, you are correct on the 10, and that's out of the 50.
All right, hold on. I got one more, man, and I'll use it up. I'll use them up.
Okay.
Hold on. Where was he? It was just earlier, and I missed it. Damn it. Where is he?
Are you right? Is this true? Is this true? Jimmy Farrow, Mitch Wren stole the wheel idea from me. Is he doing wheels?
He's been doing that for a while. Maybe he took it from you. I don't know.
I mean, I've done a wheels like years ago. That was one of my things. I just stopped doing it after a while for time. So, the prizes. Here's the thing. What are the prizes? I have a shit ton of prizes back here, and I have to figure out what all the booty is. Pirate pun intended. And then I put it on a list. And then there's like the fucking wheel. The spaces are this fucking thin because there's a shit ton of prizes, and that's the prize wheel. So it just depends on where it gets on the click. So I got to do it.
Oh, there it is. Just saw him. I hope I didn't miss anybody but Pro E, Professional E, definitely needs to be. He's going to take my last one that we know of. Until you look, I'm pretty sure I have more. But
you do have more. I know you have the 50 and the 1, and I think you have another 5 or 10. I'll have to look it up. I'm remiss. I'm remiss on it because, again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm fucking busy. I'm either going to the games, doing content, or going to medical appointments, or being bitched at by the lady in the other room. That takes up all my time. It does. It takes up all my time. That's a big amount of time.
the last one takes up the most time, getting yelled at by the lady in the other room.
Yes, it does.
It definitely does. Kona, how you doing, brother?
Kona, good. And I said to Richie Riche, I congratulated him on the great season that the Broncos had, and I picked the Broncos to win the West this year. I did. I'm on record having done that at the beginning of the year.
I think all of us did.
Well, Richie didn't. Richie didn't think it was going to happen this year. I said, I think it will happen this year. I was correct on
Well,
that.
I mean, I think MHRT, he did say, I think they will, but I'm not feeling good about it.
No,
You know
he
what I mean?
said that he thought it was going to be next year. He thought that they were going to have like 10, incrementally better, but they outkicked their coverage, shall we say. Conan, I'm on record for us going 14-3. Okay.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
see that.
he is.
Yeah.
I remember that. I specifically remember he was 14-3. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? I said 14-3 is a crazy number considering. And because at the time we all agreed that the AFC West was going to be freaking crazy difficult.
Yeah.
We did not see the Chiefs and Raiders doing what we're doing.
As shitty as we are. And yes. But I can say now, technically, we have to lose next week in order for me to say the S word. I've not said it, but until we are officially worse than last year, and we would have to lose next week so that the most wins we would have would be 3. Until that happens, I do not drop the S bomb. And no, S does not stand for shitty. There's another word, and I won't say it, but you guys know what it is. Bob, I gotta go, brother, and I'm sorry about that.
Hey, real quick though, Cool Kev said happy holidays to you and your family, Nabman. Back to you, Cool Kev. Appreciate it. Hey, enjoy the one spin. Enjoy the spin on the wheel on me, bro. Enjoy the spin on the wheel on me.
And Bob will remind me, hey, you slack motherfucker, you got to get this shit done. So well, Bob will nag me just like the lady in the other room. He will.
Oh, I'll bug you all day. I'll bug you all day, Jack. You know that.
Like, and I like that because I need to do that. I need somebody to do that. I just got to get
shipmate. Why are we procrastinating? Let's freaking get this shit going, bro.
What
do I need to do to help you?
It's having the correct amount of time to do all the things that we need to do. When is the wheel spin? Dude, God, I gotta fucking get the shit together. Buddy.
That's my boy right there. That's That's my boy right there. He's gonna poke you too.
Yeah, you can poke me too, but that means that because I see you're on like a link thing. You got to watch my shows so you know when it happens. So you got to come over on mine and watch me through me. Okay, yeah, he's laughing.
Hey,
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Shipmate,
go ahead, sir.
When you see G fam, just call him Gabe. Gabe.
Okay. Gabe. Okay.
All right. It's Gabe.
Is that a personal joke?
So my family, me familia, tu familia. You know what I'm saying?
Kev's been on long enough. He knows that I've been trying. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to get the wheel. And I never have time. I don't have time, but I will eventually. So, Merry Christmas to you, to everybody that's in the chat now. I gotta the lady in the other room is saying that I gotta go eat, and then we gotta pray because I gotta be there for and see Santa has. I like the ears. I like
giraffe ears, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Giraffe ears. Let me get the ball out of my eye. There you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not touching that one. I mean, that was something that would be.
That felt like Thailand. It's weird.
As I've said on my shows before, the best looking woman I ever saw in Thailand wasn't.
You're right.
And I admit to that. Bob, again, Merry Christmas to you. Everybody that's here, Merry Christmas. I'm gonna go eat, and I got to go hit the residency from the turnover to the Vatican around 11:30. So yeah, balls in your eyes. Yes, I know, balls in the eyes. Yeah, GFam knows this. But take care, everybody. Bob, I'm going to kick you out. Then I'm going to go do the end of the show. And blessings to you, sir. Get the ball out of your eyes, sir.
No, it's between my eyes now. All right, man. All right. Love you right back, man. Hey, everybody in the chat, Merry Christmas to you guys. Have a good one. Thank you, your family members. Think of those veterans overseas that can't be with their families tonight. Okay? Amen. Think about that. Right. I think about it all the time. I was there. We were there. So it sucks. Okay, so think about those folks. All right? I'm out, bro. Yeah. I'm done.
Right. Take care, Bob. Thanks again, brother. We'll see you on another show. That's Santa 93, Bob Navman 93. I'm going to kick him out. So again, for everybody here, Merry Christmas to you. I got my marching orders next door. I got to eat, then I got to get ready for prayer and lighting the candles. Got to light the candles. There's some electric. I'm gonna light my menorah too. I'm gonna put them. Even though Hanukkah was over, a couple of days ago, I'm gonna light the menorah because it's that portion of the year. I know Hanukkah's over, but I'm gonna put the menorah up. I got a new one. It's an electronic one. It's really cool. So I finally got one. I haven't had a menorah in fucking years, so I'm gonna do that. Take care. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa and happy Festivus for the rest of us. So not just everybody take time this year to get the spirit of holidays out for all of us. So take care. We'll see you next time.